Welcome, everyone, to the Hanna Vaughn and apparently Thomas Westbrook after party. Well, I say that if this was Hollywood Squares, you guys would be sharing the same square, right? So
their names are reversed. You should switch the names.
Oh, shite. I did that. Oh, because it's mirrored. Wait. Yes. Okay.
Yeah. I think people can probably figure it out.
They can probably figure out that.
I think you're fine.
You all know who I am now.
And I think once we join, it's locked in.
Yeah, too bad.
Nope, you can change it.
You can change it.
I'll change mine to Neil the 604 idiot stick or something like that, right?
I was Ethan Michael on April Fool's Day. That was my big April Fool's joke, is that I made my name Ethan Michael for like 5 minutes on the pickup line.
Oh, you can.
That must have driven the OCD folks crazy.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, people lost their minds. They're like, "What? She's Ethan Michael too?" I
mean, Hanna is like the lady version of me, or I'm like the male version of her in many ways.
No, I feel like you and Jenna are so similar. I think that's what Jenna told.
Yeah, I would. Okay,
Hanna, but the night Hanna, you and I met, we're like the same person too.
I think all three of us are like weirdly similar.
I'm pretty sure we're triplets.
Yeah,
especially like our energy at times. We're like. Well, Hanna especially, where we'll be like, woo! And we get just like so excited that we can't control it.
Now, when you say energy, what do you?
Our chakras are
wrong show. Sorry,
the interconnectivity of everything. How we
get on the same wavelength, the the collective consciousness between. Yeah, no. The first time I met Jenna, I had to like look at Thomas and be like, am I jumping into this too fast? Because I like her way too much.
I did the exact same thing with my partner that same night. I was like, I feel like I've known her my whole life. I don't understand this. I'm sorry. Am I talking about her too much? I'm sorry.
Like Jenna, Hanna, why I love you both so much. Like Hanna, you understand like where I relate to you is like that crazy energy. Like, let's do this. Like, let's just chat, whatever. And then Jenna, like, kind of, at least from what I can tell, we have similar struggles and habits and things, and she's been really good with helping me develop myself and learn more about me as a person. And seriously, like I don't know what I would do without you people, man. Like if after COVID happened,
things
I got all of you, and it's like made my life better. Like I would have probably been completely miserable all through COVID, but
is this going to be one of those screens where I'm going to need tissues or?
And then like Hanna, when I like the first time I like met her on camera, within 2 minutes, I was like, dude, she's the one. We're totally going to have this show together. And I remember I even told Jenna, I'm like, it's definitely Hanna. But don't say anything yet.
I'm pretty sure I told you that before you even met her. It's going to be Hanna.
She also said that too. And it's just like, dude, like I could not have asked for a better co-host on that show, because the pickup line is very much Hanna too. Like I couldn't do it without her. There wouldn't be a pickup line without Hanna. And we try and do something different and like be more fun. And I don't want people leaving any of my shows with a headache. Like, oh my God, like I want them leaving feeling good and better about themselves and things like that.
Thank you.
I remember asking Jenna before you started the pickup line, or before you had Hanna as a co-host on it. I was like, Jenna, what do you know about Ethan Michael? And then when I told her that Hanna you guys were thinking about potentially doing a show together, Jenna's like, oh my God, Ethan's basically like a male version of Hanna. And then their first episode, it was just like, oh yeah, boom, like just completely like
stop talking,
went off, like played off of each other. And I'm like, well, there you go.
Yeah.
Cheers.
I think that same night I was like, I really hope that they start a show together. I really want to see this.
I didn't after Hanna, I didn't talk to anyone else. I was like, I don't need to waste my time. Like, this is it.
Well, and Ethan, I have to thank you, because I'd been trying to get Hanna into the whole YouTube scene for a while. And now she's like, oh, it's not actually that intimidating. It's not that bad. Like, I can totally do this, because she does it every week with you. So I appreciate it.
Good. I can't wait for her to start like a TikTok and shoot more of her rainbow barf stuff out there, because she's funny.
She has a TikTok.
But my TikTok, like, I don't know. I consume more on TikTok than I create.
You should use. Yeah, I think that kind of from what I've seen of you, you would probably do at least decently well on TikTok.
The only TikTok that's ever done well is a video of him petting our cat. And it's like over like emotional music, and people are like, oh my God.
Well, she had text up that said that her friend passed away and she adopted the cat. And I'm like sitting there like staring out the dog door with the cat.
You're like on your like knees, like hands and knees,
and
looking out the
like
dog door,
posting tear-eyed emojis and going like, "Oh, he's a keeper. He loves cats."
TikTok might be a good place for you to do like a little continuation, little side project of the pickup line. I'm just saying.
That's a really good idea.
You respond to comments and stuff like that. It's not like you're a sex guru or anything like that, but you do have a fucking show about relationships and all that stuff. And fuck it, have people just, I don't know, play clips. I'm sure Ethan's good for it. Whatever. Just make like a little continuation, little 1-minute snippets of the pickup line, something like that.
That's a really good idea.
I've been like trying to do that with some of my shows, but it's hard to find like the right minute. And I am in many ways, like, I don't know how many more tasks I could take on, but yeah, I do need it would be nice. Like if I could find the right clips to do it.
Oh my God, that could be called the Minute Man.
Yeah. No, that's brilliant.
That's not a good nickname.
But that's the time limit for TikToks. That's pretty clever. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just gonna leave this here for y'all. What is it? Just putting that out there. What the minute?
The idea.
Oh, the idea. I'm like, wait,
Yeah.
wait, what are you?
It went over my head.
I dropped it.
I love that.
Ice weed.
Randolph is just working on a deck, or a
I'm super ADD, and so I just keep staring at Randolph.
I'm really
sweeping.
curious. No, I'm not a complaint at all. Just an observation. I'm like, I wish I was like there, like being like, what do you need? It looks fun.
That would be great if you were here. I'm building the upcoming studio for True North Talk, which will also be my office, but it's a big portion of it will be specifically set aside just for the True North Talk program.
Nice.
I'll be co-hosting. And Neil's going to come here. We're going to co-host it in person together.
There's videos of them tearing the old one down to yakety sax. It's hilarious. Where's that at?
The old one was rotting because the previous owner, who is a professional builder, built it wrong.
Oh, woodworking's a lot of fun though. That's
They
a lot
didn't
of fun.
anchor it into the ground, and then the end part of it was going over top of dirt. They didn't even bother putting the cement in. This is not the way to build any kind of lean-to or anything. So, yeah.
Hannah and I just learned how to use a circle saw last year.
Great.
You'd used one before.
Yeah, I used to take wood shop.
But I was always too poor to afford power tools, or I didn't have like a garage or space to like store stuff. So
You could have borrowed mine, yeah.
Maybe he was doing that like after his first day. Maybe the builder, the guy who completely
A1.
failed.
Build shit.
Maybe that was like his first day practice.
I thought his name was Bob.
Yeah, some of it seems intentionally bad. It's like he was trying to do it wrong. The impression I get sometimes.
Wow.
I found electrical wire in the house wrapped up with masking tape, scotch tape, one with a Hello Kitty band-aid. It's just...
Oh my god! But
so
I do
all the electrical.
That does sound like he was trying.
God, I want to know the story behind that. So
I'd like to know it too, but he's disappeared, and he told each neighbor a different story about where he went off to, so nobody knows where he's gone to.
Oh, cat video.
Yep.
I love that Jenna always tries to find the good in people. That
Yeah.
really, I love
Yeah.
that about Jenna. Like maybe it wasn't. Don't be mean. It was his first day.
So Hannah and Thomas, what have you been building with your circular saw?
Randolph.
We
With the wind.
Oh, turn off.
we needed a doggy door for my doggy, so we needed to install a doggy door and a door that we got.
So yeah, we built a dog door, and then I also actually
he built a.
hang
What are you
on.
gonna turn the? Oh, he's gonna lift up the camera and show you what he's really proudest of.
I built this thing.
This contraption.
That raises the monitors.
You're gonna see
It's
like
like a
behind
wooden-
the scenes.
Yeah.
You built a monitor bracket?
I don't know.
I don't know what that is.
Well, 'cause
He
it's
built
open,
a
you can run-
square.
Yeah, you can
The
run the
struggle is
cables
real.
through. It looks quite useful, actually.
Yeah, well, he needed it to be taller because he was, I guess, having like posture problems.
Yeah, so I've got these little things that the monitors stand on that can like sway apart so that I can put the camera in the middle. And but it was too low. And so I built this wooden thing and then just took some vice grips and clamped it onto the desk and raised it up like, I don't know, maybe about a foot or maybe 8 inches. And so now when I'm working at my desk, I can actually be sitting up with decent posture. But
You've been having a lot of less back pain, actually, I've noticed.
yeah,
Yeah, he was complaining all the time now. Hey, it worked.
That's
I'm gonna have
awesome.
to get
where
you
it's
to
at.
build. I'm gonna have to get you to build me one that goes underneath the desk because mine is too high.
Well,
You look
good
like-
when you can build your own stuff is great because then you don't have to hire someone to do it, and it takes a long time. And
Right.
you know, it's quite satisfying to make your own stuff that solves a problem. It's great. Congratulations.
and
Yeah,
I'm
it's
actually
fun.
working on a project right now that is it's sort of a magic trick that I'm going to do like 10 different ways, and it's going to teach the art of skepticism, but it involves building this like secret contraption table thing and stuff. So it's going to
It
be
won't
fun.
be a secret because you're going to
That
tell
sounds
them.
cool.
That sounds interesting. I look forward to seeing that.
Hey, can I jump in on the woodwork topic here? I got a text message from my buddy who just moved to Edmonton recently and took a job as a journeyman woodworker, carpenter guy in a shop out there. He came from
Nice.
BC, and BC has like a serious COVID problem out here. So everybody washes their hands, distances, wears a mask, takes it seriously. So he got into this shop that is a family-owned, very, very right-wing Trump family supporting place
Yay.
in Edmonton, in Canada, like north of where Paulogia is. And every single person in his shop got COVID except him.
I shouldn't laugh, but like,
Wow.
As of yesterday, he doesn't have it, but every single person in his shop did.
Was he the
jeez.
only one wearing a mask?
Yeah. Yeah.
Can I say something potentially terrible?
Yeah, this is the place
Sure.
for it.
Yeah, if any show you can do that, it's this one, man.
I'm gonna drink
So-
while you
I genuinely don't want to I am in no way celebrating the death of anyone,
No, of course.
but it does feel in a way like natural selection. And I'm not saying, hey, this is fantastic. Like, I think it's terrible. It's terrible that there's a pandemic.
Mhm.
But at the same time, it's like all of the people who are anti-vaxxers, who are idiots, who are denying science, it's like they're the ones who are catching it, and they're the ones who are passing. And it's not just them. Obviously, there's a lot of other people who are taking it seriously, who are still getting caught up in it.
I
And
got
it's like,
COVID.
I don't
spreading
think that
like
that's.
crazy.
I mean,
I don't think
as
that's a terrible
someone-
thing to say. I think that's a neutral thing to say. Like
Well,
like
yeah.
telling
I mean,
somebody.
I would strongly disagree purely and simply because I am immunocompromised and I know people who stayed in home pretty much the entire time, went to the shop once because they had to, they ran out of food, caught COVID and died.
Mm.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah,
I don't
and
think
I-
he's
and
saying that people who got it.
I'm not saying that doesn't happen, but I'm saying like on the macro level, like looking at the big picture figures, the
You're
people
talking
who are
about
going
science
to the
deniers.
Trump rallies and who are like, not wearing masks, like their chance of getting it is much higher.
Yeah.
And
Like when Sturgis caused half the state of South Dakota to all of a sudden get COVID because they had Sturgis down there and everybody got sick.
yeah.
Mm.
And again, like I say this as someone who like I've stayed home and been really careful and always wear a mask when I go out, and like I caught COVID.
I gave
And
it to him.
Well, she gave it to me.
From
She works at a
Oh.
preschool.
Yeah, I know exactly where I got it. It was definitely from one of the 3-year-olds because their mom had COVID and she had been going to school. And then when her mom tested positive, they took her out for 2 weeks to quarantine. I'm like, well, I have been in very close contact with this child and wiping her bottom. So I probably am gonna get it. And then like sure enough, like
And
a week
like I
later,
get
I
it.
came down with it.
You can't shut down the entire economy. You can't just take everyone out of work and make people homeless. Like, especially with $1,200 stimulus check to last you for 6 months. That's insane.
Yeah.
Like I understand.
No one
the
has
protest,
4
but-
weeks of food sitting at home either. By the way, hi from the birthplace of Kool-Aid. We invented it here in Nebraska.
Really?
Yep. Nebraska is the home of Kool-Aid. And the
Dope.
Reuben sandwich.
Nice.
Nebraska. I don't think I know anyone from Nebraska until now.
Yeah, that's Irish Swede. He's very.
I drove through
a guy on my show. So.
Welcome to the University of Nebraska, where we won the women's bowling national title tonight.
Hell yeah! I love
Congratulations.
bowling.
I drove through Nebraska and like Omaha was interesting. The rest of it, I don't think I saw a person.
We have the
entire
world's
time.
best zoo in Omaha.
The best zoo?
Yes, we have the world's number
world's?
1 rated zoo in the world is in Omaha.
Wow.
Is it like an ethical zoo? Because I like animals.
Everything is getting out of cages and actually putting into natural environments. So they're in the process of, there's no more like big cat cages or anything like that. They're all out into a savanna.
It's a really progressive zoo. When they do lots of conservation work, I think they do an exchange program with both the zoo in Chicago and the zoo in St. Louis. So they and all
And
3 of those
Cincinnati.
zoos are
Because
really
man,
good.
I love just interacting with animals more than
And you can
anything.
feed the giraffes.
With their long ass tongues. Wow. Oh my god, I freak out.
Yep, they have a giant post that you can go up in and feed the giraffes.
So are they just kind of turning into like those safaris?
Yeah, well, not really in that you still walk around, but it's more of you're the one that's caged on the sidewalk
Oh, cool.
rather than the animals in pens.
It's like
Are they
Jurassic
putting
Park.
catwalks and stuff in too? So you're
Yep.
kind of above them. Yeah, that's cool. That's what they have in St. Louis. Like catwalks above all like the big cats. And
Now
stuff
it's
too.
taken 20 years for them to get as far as they have, and they're obviously trying to raise money for the next parts, but it's slowly, like the Asian grasslands and stuff, one with the tigers and all that. The tigers roam on acres.
That's wonderful. No, I love that that's the thing that's changing. I adore animals. Thomas knows that. I took him to the California State Fair when we were doing the long distance thing and he was visiting me. And I'm like, oh my God, can I please go in this petting zoo? Do you want to go in with me? And he's like, no. And I'm like, okay, well, can you wait while I go in? And I think I spent an hour, poor guy.
There was a bunch of kids,
Goats.
small kids petting animals
And me.
Hannah.
Like a bunch of like 5-year-olds and me being like, oh, there's a goat.
I would have been in there too, dude. And yeah.
Brainbug, I thought of you. There's a lot of moth larvae, like a fuck ton of moth larvae around our playground. And so the kids have been playing with them. And I think of you every time.
Brian, you would love
I'm just
the butterfly house.
Yeah, in
The
Vegas.
butterfly house in Omaha is amazing.
Yeah. I do
We have
like
a
the
bug
butterfly
zoo
house.
here.
Yeah.
I
In
took
Victoria,
Hannah
we
to
have a bug zoo.
I took Hannah to a butterfly house in Costa Rica, and she was just like,
They
"Oh
just
my
land
God,
on your
dude."
head.
Yeah.
They just land
That's
on your head.
awesome.
Oh, it's
That's
so
awesome.
freaking cool.
I
Like
want my own butterfly house.
if I don't know that I don't worship things, but like animals and music are like the things that make me so freaking jazzed. You know?
Oh, hey, free to download all of my tunes if you want.
Yeah, no. So I want to talk about music. This is my freaking after party. So
That's right.
I'm gonna take this in this direction.
Wait,
Neil, you
time
have
out.
a band?
I do.
Hannah,
Yeah.
there is some echo right now.
I don't know where it's coming from.
Oop.
There's an echo.
Oh,
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Okay, you're good. Bye.
I
Okay.
think it might be
Yeah.
coming. It was
Neil's band is excellent.
the usual culprits down in the corner there.
It is not me.
That's what you say every time.
I muted as soon as I heard it. It wasn't me.
So
That's okay.
I want to know about your band, Neil, because I just auditioned for a band the other day and I think they liked me. And I'm gonna practice with them on Monday again. But I want to
Awesome.
your intro music, that was you?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I have two different tunes I use. I use one for the show and then a different one for the after party.
I really dig it.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
Yeah.
I'll send you a link on Facebook afterwards to SoundCloud, where I have it all. And if you do like it, I can just fucking send you the whole whack of it, because we've got about 13 songs, I think, or something that we have professionally made.
That's
it's
fantastic.
in the description of the stream, isn't it?
What's that?
In the description of the stream too.
Oh yeah, it is actually. Is it in this one? I'm not sure if it's in this one or the interview, because I kind of lessened the amount of info. On
People can find the links on your website, lifeblood.org, as well.
I have a website?
Yeah, you don't remember?
I thought that one was just up for some reason, but
This is not a short-term memory thing, man.
No, this is an old age memory thing.
What's the website?
I just put in the private chat there.
Neil, what do you do in the band?
Tons of nice put it in there.
I'm the vocalist, actually.
That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna have to pick your brain, because they like want someone who can like come up with lyrics and melodies and stuff, and I've never done that. I can cover All the Live Long Day, but I've never written my own stuff. I'm sure I could if I really tried, because all I do is listen to music, and like I know how music works and stuff.
Yeah.
But I'll have to pick your brain and be like, what do you?
I write all the lyrics, so all the lyrics in the songs you hear is from me. And I can't really play. I can play like really shitty on instruments. Like I can play a little bit of drums, a little bit of guitar, a little bit of trumpet. A little bit of
Hey!
right? So yeah,
I
exactly.
play campfire chords.
But
I can play worship songs.
Wow.
Not anymore.
I had him play some for me, and I actually swooned a little bit.
Yeah, I was like, shout to the Lord.
Like, oh my God. I was like back in high school.
C-A-G-D. It's like the same chords in like every Christian song.
Campfire chords, what I call them.
Yeah, campfire chords. That's perfect.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I do. I can finger prick. I can shred a little bit, but like one song.
I come up with some of the music.
Oh,
ideally, and then they sort of translate it to guitar and whatnot. So.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
My little sister plays the ukulele, and she got very cross at one of my mates in high school because he'd never picked up a ukulele before, picked it up, messed around with it for a few seconds, and then just played Through the Fire and Flames on it.
That's my drummer. My drummer does that too.
It's a pretty easy one to pick up.
I know someone like that though who can play almost any instrument you put in front of them, and like we took this crazy like obscure African instrument and just like handed it to them, and they're like, oh, and just like went off with it.
It's my brother.
Yeah.
I hate my brother for it.
I have a
My brother's
brother-in-law
like
who's-
this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And my drummer can play any instrument you give him to. The only thing he can't do is sing, and we really, really don't want him to because he's horrifying.
There's one thing you can't do. Oh, that's amazing.
Hey, I have a question to all the like YouTubers. How often do people reach out to you and ask you to promote stuff? Like for instance, I'm not talking about like regular YouTube videos, but like I got another one the other day, like an MLM. Hey, I've got this new great product. I'm willing to pay if you advertise this, and I'm just like, no. I'm sorry, like, people count on me. I'm not about to start spreading that bullshit.
Yeah,
Point them towards Antibot.
Taylor's great.
Get the money first. Get the money first. That's all I can.
Yeah, I get people all the time who reach out to me asking me to promote stuff, but they don't offer me money.
They should.
They offer me money.
Fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
Some girl emailed me. She makes teddy bears and she wanted to promote them on my show. I was like, for a second, I was like, that would be kind of sweet. No, fuck that.
Put them in a bandana.
It's like the cookie at the gas station.
Cookie at the gas station.
Yeah, like
I promote
gas station sushi.
See, most of it, it's like I might get an occasional email, from people wanting me to promote stuff, and then I'll get, for every one email that I get like that, then I get like about 3,000 from Raid Shadow Legends.
Oh.
Really?
There's a few that they'll have like a program, and like a bunch of like marketers will be like, oh yeah, we'll jump on and like find someone to promote it, and so I'll get a bunch of emails from people that are like, hey, we'll hook you up with a sponsorship deal, and I'm like, I'm not really interested, and it's not really in line with my niche.
I don't make that much content, but I make very little compared probably to everybody here, but I've had a few religious groups ask me to promote them. So I just tell them, come on the stream. And when I try to get back to them, their account isn't working. it's
Weird.
a scam. Yeah.
Funny that.
Barking up the wrong tree comes to mind.
I did a paid review of a Unitarian Universalist church, but I told him, I said, hey, it's going to be very honest. I'm going to go and see what I think. And the secular service was fine. The secular service was just like community building. But then the more religious one, I was like, I'm going to give this one like a 2 or 3 out of 10 because it's mostly chill, but they're still using like Christian hymns and they're encouraging faith and stuff. And I can't really abide by that.
See, I thought I was way too small to get any sort of people poking at me, but even though I was like at 100 subscribers, still am. Why did I say was? But anyway, I got someone reaching out to me and it was like, hey, would you like to promote this financial course thing we're doing? And I had a look and it was just like, it said it was free initially, and then I clicked on the link and it was like, it's like 2,000 pounds. And it was just like, why the fuck would I pay $2,000 for a course that is not accredited by anyone, for something that I'm not even sure what it really is? And then if I'm not going to do it, why would I promote it to anyone else? What the fuck?
Yeah,
You
even
just had to make a
Tom
ton of
Vu's-
money.
Even Tom Vu's real estate stuff from the 80s was less expensive than that, about $1,400, I think.
Yeah.
But that's just for one class.
Well, and the thing about courses is like some of them, very rarely, like you'll find someone who's an incredible expert in the niche, knows all the ins and outs, and it's related to something that you're interested in, and it's worth its weight in gold. But more often than not, there's 1,000,001 people out there who are trying to get rich off of creating courses, but they haven't actually done the work up front, and they haven't actually gone and like they don't have any social proof to show that they're an expert in any sense of the word. And so they're just creating a course to teach something that they don't really know the first thing about, or they're just repeating something that they've heard. And that's kind of about as valuable as like sand in the desert to me. But I don't know.
Yeah, there's a difference
Thanks,
between
Jason.
like a...
Sorry, Sam, real quick, because Jason,
yeah,
Dragons
super
and Genesis podcast, just did a super chat. And I'd also like to say the other thing that everyone who died in Noah's flood had in common was they could not breathe underwater. Just, pointing that out there.
Yeah,
The
so I think
financial
it's the difference
side.
between someone who is completely unaccredited versus someone who has been in their field for like a decade and knows their shit and like has a established business to demonstrate that.
I got you a Penn and Teller master class for Christmas one year.
Awesome.
Yeah, and that was freaking amazing because Penn and Teller obviously they know their stuff. So
We
if they're
met them.
teaching magic, like it's gonna be good.
I want to meet them so badly.
If you go to Vegas, they stay and meet everyone after their shows.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was so great.
Kind of don't want to look like a stalker either, but
their level of engagement with their fans though is very, very impressive for someone with that level of
They'll
celebrity status.
Stay and chat with you.
They'll stay and they'll sign everything. They'll talk with you. They'll take pictures with everyone for like an hour after their show.
I've heard they're really cool guys.
Yeah.
See, I was afraid I was going to come across like that when I went to Faithless Forum. To be honest with you, I'd be like all like fangirly and be like, "Hey," and then everyone's go, "Oh, it's just a creepy old guy."
You fit right in. We're all creepy.
I noticed that you didn't say old either, but
Last time I'm a freaking fetus.
Hey, in terms of aging, we're all getting there one day at a time.
Yeah, exactly.
Never
still feel
regret
like I'm
growing
12.
older. It's a privilege denied to many.
One day closer to sweet, sweet death. I mean,
Sweet release, sweet mercy.
Hey! I've had enough near-death experiences in the past 12 months.
My
great uncle in his 90s used to say, "Old age, I don't recommend it."
I think
Oh
this
my
was
God.
mentioned before. You said something about gas station cookies or something.
Oh my
God.
That's
I,
Google Eats. Google Eats is funny in my chats. So.
What was it? So my he wasn't my like biological grandfather. I've actually never met either of my grandfathers, but the man that my grandmother was with pretty much my whole life that I can remember, Jim. on my graduation day, and he always fucked with me. Like he never was serious, but on my graduation day from high school, he like sits me down, and I think that he's gonna actually give me some like real grandpa advice, which I always kind of craved because I never had a grandfather. He's like, listen here, Hannah, you're gonna have many tests in your life. And he wasn't Southern. I don't know why I'm doing that. You're gonna have many.
Your honorary grandpa if you like.
Yeah.
Hey, I got some words
But
of wisdom for you.
He sits me down, he starts saying this, and I'm like, cool, I'm gonna get some like real wisdom from this man. This is it. I'm gonna have a grandfather moment. And he's like, you're gonna have a lot of tests. You're gonna have a lot of tests in your life. But the real true test is when you look in the mirror and realize what an old damn geezer you are.
He's not wrong.
And I was like, thank you.
You didn't gather wisdom from that?
It
That was
like,
for you, Ethan, by the way.
I think that Hannah would like this to happen live in her after party, actually. This rap battle.
What'd you say? Brian, what'd you say?
I said I think Hannah would like to have this rap battle happen live in her after party between Oz and Ethan.
The super chat.
Oh, a super chat. Oh,
There was wisdom in those words, Hannah.
I mean, I guess, yeah. I mean,
No, not at face value. He was just, saying like, "Fuck, I'm old." But
yeah. That's pretty much like all he ever said. He would always
the
be like,
implied
I'm so
message
old.
in there is, "Don't blink."
Aww. Yeah.
I feel like the implied message in there is invest every last penny in anti-aging technology so that by the time that you hit 80 or 90, maybe there'll be future medicine to like fix that shit.
You want to know
can
what
have
like
mechanical parts like I do.
Like I don't mind getting old. It's not getting old that bothers me. It's the like I want to have a long health span, not just a long lifespan.
Oh, I want to be a vampire and live forever. That's another thing that I really grieved over is the fact that vampires aren't real. I was convinced that I was going to be a vampire.
Wait, they're not real? I was literally about to become a Christian because I was like, well, if Jesus isn't real, why are vampires afraid of cross?
That's Ethan's joke, fucker.
It's not my joke.
his
I've seen
Twitter.
it somewhere, but I posted it earlier today.
Okay, because I chuckled and read it out loud today, actually.
Yeah.
I was like, look, Ethan just said this.
I was like, yoink.
You know, if you're a vampire, you can't go to Africa because they
What?
bless the rains down there and holy water Australia.
The holy water.
Oh. I think you win. You win, Swede.
Before
Yeah.
Twilight, I wanted to be a so like this. I think what you think of when you think of vampires is really telling about a person. Mine is Lost Boys or Interview with a Vampire, not Twilight. That's like what comes to mind when I think
Interview
of
with the Vampire and Lost Boys are far superior to Twilight.
Back when
The
vampires were
armor,
cool.
Dracula's armor from Bram Stoker's the movie, that is probably the sweetest part of that whole movie too. If you go back and look at the intro to Bram Stoker's Dracula, the armor that he wears.
Gary Oldman's not bad at
It's
that movie.
skinned flesh in armor.
I just have to
Damn.
say, Kate Beckinsale in tight leather is like I stan. That's my vampire.
Oh, that's your
I'm not going to
vampire.
argue with that one.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, I
agreed.
won't argue with that.
Yeah.
I used to have the hugest crush on Kate Beckinsale.
Now I
Used
feel old and
to.
creepy again.
I did too.
So did I.
Turns
What are your
out,
3 favorite colors? Tight black leather.
Yeah, Jenna, my turns out moment was looking back and realize the Mummy movies, who was the female like lead? That
Oh
was
my
like me
God.
being
Was
like a
that
young
Rachel?
girl. I was being like a young girl, like, why do I want to touch her?
Rachel.
face?
oh my
Weisz.
God, I used to say, I'm her.
Yeah, I'm her, but it's like I didn't even want to just be her. I wanted to smooch her and touch her hair.
No, looking back, it's like that's what I want. That's what I wanted. But I was
Yeah.
like, I don't know what to do with that, but I can't be that. So it must be I just
I
want
want
to
to
be her.
Yeah, yeah.
I think Oz means Count Chocula.
Chocula, yeah.
When I think of him, okay, I get it now. Yeah. Or like, there's another one that's like, what role do you think of when you think of Tim Curry, and that really says a lot about you?
Clue.
Oh,
There's only one.
Clue?
Clue.
No way, man. No
Yeah.
way, man.
Rocky
That's
Horror.
just the first.
Rocky
this is
Horror.
the first one. I
Rocky
actually
Horror
haven't seen
Picture
Rocky
Show.
Horror.
That's
Actually,
number
like
2 on my list.
What the fuck, Jenna?
Okay, Jenna,
You're literally sitting next to a Rocky Horror virgin.
if it's ever
Me
being
too.
played and I'm down there, we're going to go and we're going to dress up and we're going to bring toast with us and we're going to bring all the stuff that you do because
Squirt
a toast to, on the movie, and everyone whips toast at the screen. You have to have the experience.
So I have an idea. What if the first time that I watch Rocky Horror is also the first time that Jenna and Ethan watch Rocky Horror and Neil comes down and visits?
That'd be amazing, but we'll go see it live. But when you go see a performance of it, it's a whole nother. Have you seen a performance of it?
Yep.
It's incredible.
Has anyone else here not seen it yet?
I don't know that I've actually ever seen a film with Tim Curry in it.
What? Fuck?
Damn, he upped us one.
I'm here for it.
Jeez.
He's almost like Kevin Bacon.
And then we get questions like this.
Oh
Oh,
my god!
I mean, granted, I am 18, so.
Okay.
so you can
Well,
tell
you got
about a person by
time.
where they recognize Tim Curry from.
You got time to catch up.
Hold
You're
on.
fine.
I could do a screenshot here. Just give me a second here.
Bless.
To be
Tim
fair,
Curry.
as someone who was a missionary kid overseas and I didn't have American TV,
Yeah, you
it
didn't-
took me a long time to catch up on movies. In fact, I even got a job at Blockbuster just so that I could have like rentals and stuff.
You weren't introduced to the sweet transvestite from Transylvania.
Wow.
Wait, transsexual Transylvania.
Yeah,
Your parents. My mom showed me that movie when I was way too young, thinking, "Oh, this is a fun movie," and then she went, "Oh, right, I can't spoil it." But then she like forgot and remembered. She was like, "Ooh, maybe they're not ready for that."
My dad fast forwarded through the scene in Mask of Zorro where he cuts off Catherine Zeta-Jones's clothes.
My mom showed me Zorro on
We're supposed
purpose.
to do that.
Like,
See,
look at
my
this.
family was very no Harry Potter. C.S. Lewis was dodgy.
Wow.
C.S. Lewis was okay for us. Lord of the Rings was fine. Harry Potter, I didn't really push it, but I wasn't a Harry Potter fan until I got to college.
Oh, I love Tim Curry. Can we all just take a moment and just appreciate the
Oh,
man,
isn't he
the
badass
myth?
right now?
He's pretty badass.
He's
That's
just
Tim Curry.
amazing in everything.
I'm still tripping on this. Thomas says he's never seen Rocky Horror Picture Show, and everybody's like, it gets quiet for a second, like somebody stops fucking doing the dishes, it turns around like, oh my god, really? And like then Sam busts out like, who the fuck is Tim Curry?
All right, so
All we
beautiful.
were missing was the record scratch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Curry
That can be put in
Rocky
post.
Horror Picture Show. There you go.
Neil, we need to get you a little stream deck with like sound effects buttons.
I know, right?
I just want to go watch it now. How do you do? See you. I'm gonna get performing. I need to stop. I'm 2 beers in. I'm gonna start like doing. Stop the stream. It's now my show. I'm gonna do Rocky Horror line for line.
Wait, we gotta assign roles. There's enough people here.
Hey, I know that song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. You know the time
That's from
warp.
Rocky Horror Picture Show.
I'm gonna green
So
screen
I've
that,
heard the song.
guy and do the
Ethan is
calling
Rocky. Ethan is Rocky with his little gold shorts.
Yes. Yes.
Just wait till you see it, Ethan, and then you'll understand.
I want to be fuck his name. He was long hair, kind of balding. Although I'm not actually balding.
Riff Raff.
That's it.
Riff-Raff.
Thank you, Riff Raff.
Riff-Raff.
Neil, I always pictured you as Meatloaf.
Oh yeah, that's fair too. That's fair. Yeah.
Hey Neil, have you seen me in the gold booty shorts that she's referring to?
I helped you
think
pick them
he
out.
won't do- no, if he's
Picture-
Meatloaf, he
Oh,
won't
he's gonna
do
pull
that.
it up now.
That was a bit of a do I want to know moment when you said that.
Are you going to put him on for us now, Ethan, or what?
He's
I'm
considering.
Jenna,
No,
Jenna, I need a
if
second
he's
opinion on
Meatloaf, he won't do that.
Do it.
What, like go put them on, or just like pull
No,
up the
no,
picture?
no. Just pull up the picture.
Yeah, no, pull up the picture.
Apparently I'm
Absolutely, absolutely.
Apparently, I'm Eddie
That's
for
what-
sure. So.
Yeah, for sure.
I would see you as Eddie. Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that too. I just one of my favorite characters was always Riff Raff. That's why. But Eddie's funny.
It's
Eddie's great.
astounding.
All right, Neil, feel free to share the screen shot I just posted up.
Wait
Oh my
for
goodness.
it.
Do I want to? Oh, okay. Hang on.
Do it.
Oh dear
Oh, God.
I like the window.
I like the baskets in the background.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
I
That's
was-
kind of cool.
I was trying to have a drink.
in the other room.
You always
There's
look at the
a guy-
baskets in the background for real.
There's a guy I debated with a few months ago who wasn't wearing any pants in the stream, and at the end he revealed there was nothing from the waist down that he was wearing. Like, Ethan, are you trying to compete with that guy?
I don't even know who that is. I was trying to honestly give people a good laugh.
Randolph, do you know how many of my videos I've filmed where I'm like in like a dress shirt and then I've got like shorts or boxers on, but like no one sees below the table?
Or wear
but at least
jammy
you're
pants
wearing
every
boxers.
stream.
You know, at least you're wearing something there.
What'd you say?
I'm in pajama pants every stream.
Yeah.
Every stream. Every single one. Like even if I'm in like a
Sometimes
nice
your
shirt.
weed pants.
You guys are wearing
Oh,
pants?
my weed pants, yeah.
What'd you say?
Yeah, you could be.
You guys are wearing pants?
We're wearing trousers. We're wearing trousers and pants.
That's the guy. That's the name of the guy. Yep.
Yeah,
I know his
Do
name.
athletic pants count, like yoga pants or exercise gear? Does
Yes.
that count as pants?
But that probably means something different to you, Sam. Like pants are like underwear, right?
We just lost.
Yes, but I have 2 American partners, so I'm familiar with most of the terms now.
Yeah, yeah. We have trousers and pants.
And pants and dungarees. And the other one from like
Slack.
Oh, there's another one too. Slacks works. Yeah. Shit. I was just rereading Cavalier and Clay, which is a great book, by the way. And they use the term, and I can't remember it. Never mind. It'll come back to me.
Are you thinking of pantaloons or something?
Pantaloons. Not bad petticoats.
Well, I feel like too that the English language is really confusing because it's a very different thing to get pants versus to get pantsed.
Yeah.
What about Chinese? Have you ever tried that one? Like one word can mean 4 different things depending on how you say it.
I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah, it's the difference between being pissed and being pissed.
Right.
I think those are supposed to be like the 2 most difficult languages to learn, aren't they? English and Chinese.
And Chinese,
So-
yeah.
Like Mandarin or
No, Chinese.
Mandarin or
Like, oh, okay,
Mandarin.
okay.
Mandarin is one of the Chinese dialects, like Cantonese and Mandarin. are Chinese.
Oh, okay.
I thought that Mandarin was easier than Chinese.
So
Mandarin is one spoken dialect of Chinese. The writing's all the same for all 58 major dialects. There's about 700 to 800 dialects altogether.
He's married to a Chinese lady, FYI.
And I study some Chinese, so that's why I have it in my name. It's a tonal language. It's monosyllabic, which means the word is one syllable, but there's different tones. So Mandarin has about 4 or 5 tones.
You mean syllable?
Yeah, Cantonese has 7 tones. Taiwanese has 16 tones. So, Mandarin's the easier one to learn. It's also the standard across China, and other countries have adopted it as the standard as well. So, yeah, if you want to learn Chinese, learn the writing with the spoken language, because people who start by learning just the spoken part of it end up having to backtrack and learn it with the writing all over again. Like what Neil said, the point is very important. There are multiple different meanings for a single character, and or a single word pronounced a certain way. One pronunciation can have 50 or 60 different characters pronounced that way. So understanding the context when you're speaking is important as well. So it's still easier than learning a language like German.
Yeah.
That's
See, learning,
fascinating.
having looked a bit at Chinese, it reminds me uncomfortably so of Attic Greek.
Well, yeah, the Chinese characters are somewhat pictographic, so whereas the English and Latin-based languages are more kind of just analytical. So there's kind of a combination. You're getting the best of both, and I think that's maybe partly why it's easier to learn, because using more of your brain. I suspect. I don't have proof of that. So a neuroscientist would be the one to speak on this for sure. So I can only say I suspect it, but I don't have any scientific reason for it. But like for me, I'm dyslexic. I have 2 kinds of dyslexia, one for hearing, one for reading. And when I was learning, say, French or Spanish, it was not easy for me, because there's the English language, and then I'm seeing words changing to English right on the page sometimes. And so it was words that didn't make sense and things. So when I started learning Chinese, because the characters are so wildly different from English characters, and all Latin-based ones. It was like completely starting with a blank slate and starting all over. It's a completely different language, so that confusion didn't happen for me. And I think because it's pictographic, the dyslexia wasn't nearly as prevalent as well for me. So I found it actually easier to learn. So yeah, and
That's fascinating.
Example of the pictographic, the word center, it's a oblong or a rectangle and with a line through the center. It's just pronounced.
Center.
Yeah, so it's pictographic. The pictures, the way things are drawn, kind of matches the character. I
didn't realize that there was an auditory dyslexia.
Sorry.
I didn't realize that there was like an auditory version of dyslexia.
I was going to ask what that is.
Yeah, I one of my friends in high school had a form of dyslexia that only affects numbers, not words.
Oh, dyscalculia is not fun.
There you go.
My little brother has dyscalculia, and it's something.
Yeah, so there are many different types of dyslexia out there. Yeah, so and then there's different causes for it too when the cause is known.
That's incredible. No, I didn't know that.
It's interesting on that note. Like I've heard that people can read Chinese sometimes without being able to speak it because you can understand what the pictures are, or what the characters are pictographically. But also, like when I was in Afghanistan a while back, and the numbers.
He didn't serve, by the way.
They use. I went there on a tourist trip, but because I'm weird, but. The number, like the whole writing system is identical to Arabic, almost, like with a couple small exceptions, but the language is different. It's Dari, which is similar to Farsi, which is what they speak in Iran, but the number system is different from the Latin number system that we're all familiar with. And almost every country in the world that you go to, they use the same numbers that we do, just because it makes banking easy. It makes, like anything that, having to do with money and finance is simple. But if you go to Arabic speaking countries, then like on their bills and stuff, they won't write it using, the normal, not Roman numerals, the Arabic numerals.
Right.
Which is weird that we call them Arabic numerals, but they're different from
when you go to like
at least in Afghanistan, what they have, on the bills. And it's confusing. And a lot of times they'll, you have to be careful as a tourist because you'll get the wrong change back. And if you don't actually stop and learn their money system, then you can be scammed pretty easily.
If I could ask a genie for 3 wishes, one of them would definitely be to be able to speak and understand every language. That would be like number one. That it fascinates me.
Like I have Cypher from the X-Men.
Yeah, I have a student.
You'd be able to speak with the Marklar on Planet Marklar.
I have a student who just started. Sorry, go ahead.
I do have to jet out of here, but
why?
Congratulations on your conversion story.
Thank you so much. Thanks for coming, Ethan.
Thomas, it was nice seeing you. I'll see you on Tuesday.
Yeah. He's like, why? Is he doing the perspective?
Yes.
Yeah.
He's had a lot going on.
No, I know why.
Okay. And then your eyes were okay. I'm sorry.
Jenna, Brian, Hearts, Sam, IQ.
See you in the morning.
Ethan, I will hopefully speak to you tomorrow.
All right. Sounds good.
Ethan, always a pleasure to hang out with you, buddy.
You too.
Thanks for hanging out, Ethan.
Thanks, Neil.
Thanks for coming, Ethan.
So as I was saying,
before Ethan so rudely interrupted,
I have a student who just started who speaks Portuguese, but I speak a bit of Spanish, so we can communicate with each other, but we're not speaking the same language because they're so similar. But they're not the same language. So like I get things wrong. Sometimes I'll say something in Spanish and I realize, oh, that's not it. I'll like Google it. I'm like, oh, that's different in Portuguese. And I have to say it. But a lot of things I say to him, he like will be like, oh, and like respond. I'm like, yes. But I wish I could just learn Portuguese. Like I wish I could speak every language. That would be my freaking dream.
He said sometimes his questions are really complex. So he was like asking like, why is everyone napping? And Hannah's like, I'm not really quite sure how in Spanish to explain like the nature of like why do preschool kids need to like take a nap in the middle of the day? So she's just like, I don't know.
Yeah, no, so he's like, ¿Por qué? And he's saying all the things, and I was like, no sé. And he's 3, so he accepted it.
So, I don't know, it's just what we do.
Yeah. Oh, he's a cutie. I adore that kid. Yeah, but no, it just made me. Now I'm like on Duolingo, like practice Portuguese, and I'm like, okay, but you haven't finished Gaelic and you haven't finished French, so like, chill out.
Learning Gaelic, that's so cool.
Yeah. Oh man, but it's like you have to really commit to it. You have to really commit to it.
You don't got a lot of vowels to work with, do you?
No, and it's a lot of.
I'll just hear her going like something. August.
August. That's
August.
and August.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Or depending on the dialect, it's Ayus, but August. Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm trying to learn Gaelic, or Gaelic, but because I'd like to go to. Well, not that like anyone really speaks it anymore, but I'm just kind of a lot of like the family that I really feel near to me is from Scotland, so I want to like.
Isn't Welsh derived from Gaelic though? Isn't that the only language in modern use that's derived from Gaelic?
Gaelic is actually still a spoken language in various places around Wales and Scotland.
Yeah.
Well, primarily Ireland and Scotland, but Wales is derived from Gaelic and it's considered a Gaelic language.
Yeah, so Welsh then.
Part Welsh, actually. So.
I'm super.
Yeah, we can tell, Neil. We can tell.
We can tell. I'm not big of an asshole.
Doesn't he run like a Welshman?
I just want to go to Scotland. So
avoid the topic of sheep too much.
Okay.
Hey. Will, met a minute and the sheep are nervous. Sorry.
Yeah. So.
Was that coins, or am I just drinking on my own?
Wait,
you can
did it
drink
say
whatever you
coins?
want.
Oh, shit.
Coins hasn't hit yet. All right, we'll pretend that we have coins.
I am eating and drinking as we chat, so.
Perfect.
I haven't given
got
Thomas my number yet, so he hasn't been able to fucking text me. So we'll have to. And Oz, I sent you a link. So.
Ooh.
But Ethan's no longer in here to rap battle. Sorry.
Yeah, that's disappointing.
So this is the story. Oh,
That's
we
gonna
can
go down
rap.
one of these days.
We just watched Hamilton. We know all about rap.
I just want to drink before I start rapping. I'm just.
I just watched him hosting the.
Oh my god.
The one strange rock or something. I think it's called.
Really, Lin-Manuel Miranda?
No. It's Will Smith.
What? Oh, because I said okay. I started. Okay, this is how my brain works. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I said
You're
this
still
is
thinking
yeah,
Hamilton.
Yeah, and then I switched topics very quick, and then I assume that everyone is reading my mind.
Let me try.
Yeah.
No worries.
Oh, she's thinking about Lin-Manuel Miranda, and he's freaking amazing.
Don't. I finally showed Thomas Hamilton, and so it was me, Eric on the other side of the couch, and Thomas, and Eric and I were both like like the whole time, and Thomas is just like, this is pretty good. He's just like the happiest guy I know, but like Eric and I are both ugly crying during it. Ugh.
This is the great
not quite really impressed then.
I had the same reaction.
No, he liked it. He just doesn't. Yeah, Eric and I are just criers, and Thomas isn't. You know. So, I think I was interrupting someone. I'm so sorry.
No, I just said I had the same reaction to Hamilton. I watched it and thought, that was pretty good. It was about but yeah.
Yeah, it was all right.
At least you liked it. You know, if someone doesn't like it, I don't understand.
I've seen two.
I already knew most of the words before watching it because my little sister is a theater nerd.
Yep. I feel that. Yeah, I already had the soundtrack before I ever saw it because I listen to show tunes mainly.
Yeah, we'll be driving somewhere, and Hannah's just like, "Hey, I'll put on the music," and I'm like,
"Oh, great! She's gonna."
I know what's gonna happen, and it's always either like Hamilton, Phantom of the Opera, Rent, or
Rent's awesome.
Have you seen Phantom of the Opera live?
Disney,
yes, twice, or Disney.
Evil Dead,
yeah, Evil Dead the musical, which I was in.
But it's all like musicals.
God, so cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hannah, how many times have you seen Les Mis?
1.5 because we had to sneak in during intermission because we were late for one.
Oh, have you seen?
It wasn't my fault.
The finale at the O2 in Britain. There's a DVD of that. It's fantastic.
I think I have. Is it like just like the live performance where they're singing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen
that. The ambience at the O2 would probably do that decent justice as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I love theater.
I was in a production of Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat when I was very young.
So I grew up
we
on the
sang a
80s.
lot anymore.
My God.
My second least favorite musical.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
I don't
And
agree.
Oh my god!
Maybe that's me just being the oldest of 8 and having had to put up with it such that I've memorized the whole thing now.
I mean, I used to have to listen to it to go to. Whoa.
I think that's Oz's fault.
Audio issues. What button did you hit? What button did you hit? Stop.
I was muted.
Stop. Something's going on here.
Something's going on here. Something's going on here.
Something's going on here.
It's Oz. It's Oz. Everything. So try and figure out your.
Maybe Oz has YouTube playing in the background.
No,
he's smarter
it
than
made
that.
my voice sound like a robot. Is what it was.
Yeah, that's why I started
Made
going
all
to
of us sound like a robot.
Yeah.
I'm glad it
Yours
wasn't me for a
specifically because it's
change.
very baritone. It was a
Oh dear. In fairness, it's not that I dislike Joseph and Technicolor Dreamcoat. It's just
tired of
one
it.
of my. It's just one of my less favorite now that I've listened to it so much. Because like I'm generally very tolerant of musicals. I kind of have to be. Because I mentioned one of my little sisters being a theatre nerd. Strictly speaking, that's not 2. It's 2 of them.
no.
Hey Randolph, can you tilt your camera down because I was enjoying watching you woodwork.
Yeah,
Hey,
that's good for his ADD.
I'm gonna bounce. Yeah, it's good to see y'all, and y'all have fun. Okay?
Brian, was it time to
I
feed all the
can't.
critters?
No, I gotta get kids to bed though.
I got you.
I do too.
Daddy duty.
Always a pleasure, Brian.
Oh,
Take care, man. I'll see you on Monday.
Baby.
I love
Take care,
you.
Brian.
I love you. Hey, I see you next weekend. Hannah's gonna come paint the baby's room.
Oh, me! I thought you were talking about
Thomas.
Brian.
No,
Brian,
you.
I was like, wait, Brian lives in like far away.
Jenna's part of our quarantine.
Our quarantine. Yeah,
They're gonna come
family.
help paint the baby's room.
Oh, I'm so excited.
We have a small group of about like 8 people that since coronavirus started, we've all been in like this small group that like if if any of us like leaves the group or goes or travels, then like we quarantine for a little while, but then like we come back
and we
then
like
we're,
ask permission. Like,
we're
hey,
a part of the safe group.
Is everyone comfortable with me going here? And they're like, no, please stay away for 2 weeks.
That's hey. I got. Oh no, I can't. Okay. Love you.
Oz's echo is back.
Bye.
Yep. Something's going on with your connections there, Oz.
Oh, it sounds better.
Yeah, he muted.
He muted
it. Yeah.
Now who did we?
Oh, yeah, he's just muted, but he's here.
Yeah.
I gotta say that sound problem was pretty spectacular. I've never heard it like that before.
That was funky.
Did we lose Jenna too?
Yeah,
Jenna said bye-bye and good night.
Yeah, she had to go to the.
You missed it.
I'm so
Okay, my connection cut out for a second, so I didn't notice.
Oh.
Oh, I didn't say to say goodbye to Jenna. Oh, it's okay. I'll do a big thank you tweet like I usually do after these, and she'll be tagged. So,
Hey Hannah, I wanted to ask you during your deconversion story, you seemed a little, I would use the word timid about talking about some of the woo-woo that you've been involved with. And feel free to tell me to F off. People do it all the time.
No, I love it. I just know that this one's gonna just judge the heck out of me.
I already know everything.
No. Let's do this. Yeah. No, I was just wondering, is there stuff that you got involved with that you didn't know was woo-woo before you got into it and discovered it? Or did you dabble in stuff specifically to find out what was going on in it as sort of that?
Yeah. So when I got like a bunch of like witchcraft books, I tried to like learn how to astral project.
I tried that too.
Yeah, it didn't work. I probably didn't believe enough. No, and like
didn't have enough faith.
Yeah, I didn't believe
last in actual witch that doesn't believe in astral projection.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Like things like that. Like I would try out things and be like, well, that didn't work. But it's never like I was ever involved with a group that was pressuring me, which I feel very lucky. It was always such a I think it's because I was taught by my mother that like religion is something. This is how she presented it to me. She said, because I came home, sorry, my brain is darting in so many different directions. I'm like, I want to start here. No, wait, I want to start even further back. No, wait, even further back. So I came home one day being like, Mom, what's God? Because I heard about it in school, because the kids on the playground are like, you need to go to church. And I'm like, I don't go to church. And they said, well, God says you need to go to church. And I'm like, I don't know what that is. And so my mom explained to me, it's different for everyone, but it's a very personal thing. And you don't need to go around making sure that everyone agrees with you. It's just kind of your personal thing. I think that God is in your heart and is what makes you do the right thing. And that was it. And so she always kind of just encouraged me to just figure it out for myself. If she had questions, she would answer them honestly. She would say, I don't know. And so I kind of figured that, okay, I'm going to figure it out, but I don't really need to involve, I don't really need to, I don't know. Since I never went to church, I kind of didn't really have that community of this, this collective idea and greater things. So I just like was reading books, trying things out, realizing they didn't work. I read the Bible and I was like, that's cool stories. Doesn't really mean anything, but like, I'm not really convinced.
You were examining the boundaries, but you didn't find any niche in there that really appealed to you.
Yeah, exactly. So that was basically my experience. I had a lot of freedom, and I was taught that like religion's different for everyone, and it's a personal thing. So
did you get at any point in your life? I don't know how old you are, but I'm
Echo.
Somebody's echoing. Anyway,
is it QG?
At any point in your life, did you get involved with like MLMs or anything like that? As far as
sort of. I got no. I mean, you know about this, and I don't really know if it was technically. I actually talked about this with Taylor. I'm actually a little tipsy. Antibot. She's married to Drew, who is
genetically modified skeptic.
Thank you. Okay. I was explaining how I got part of this quite very well known, so I don't want to get in trouble. Very well known. I don't know, but Antibot was like, that sounds like an MLM. That sounds like an MLM, and it's a very well known supplemental insurance company.
It starts with G and rhymes with ICO.
No, it doesn't. That's not who I sold for.
Was it Geico?
No. It's
them the
starts
duck
with
guys.
A and rhymes with Flack.
With Ben Affleck.
You're gonna get me in so much trouble. And it was okay. I was
thinking it was I guess Affleck. Okay.
I was really broke and really burnt out at the job I was at, and had just gotten out of a very long, rocky relationship, and moved out all my stuff in one day and moved into a 600 square foot cottage. And I needed to be able to afford it because I was making minimum wage.
That's such a Canadian
and
thing
living in California. So yeah, and so I was like, shit. And then I was just searching, and I was like, wow, I'm gonna be my own boss. And it kind of bited me in the ass. So yeah, kind of. But that
Aflac is not an MLM in any sense of the word. It's just insurance sales.
Yes, it's not an MLM, but like kind of the way I was recruited and like what my role was.
Their recruitment structure is almost identical to MLMs, but in terms of you don't just make money off of commissions. Like the definition of an MLM, I believe, is that like you have to make above a certain percent from sales versus from recruitment. And so even if it's modeled the same as an MLM, if you're making above that percentage in sales, then it's like technically not a pyramid scheme and it's legal and stuff. But like there's some weird like distinctions and whatnot.
Yeah,
Taylor would be more of an expert in that.
Well, there's also the recruitment angle in MLM's pyramid schemes. The recruitment is a very big part of it.
That was the biggest thing. Like they really focused on recruitment. Like that was like the biggest thing. Is like.
But then
they've
got downlines and uplines and the commission structure. It goes follows all the way
Stay
through.
the fuck away from fucking.
Wouldn't you?
It was
you
the commission.
earn commissions from the people that you recruited.
I didn't recruit anyone, but that was the goal.
But like, if you recruited them, you would earn.
My person above me was earning money from my commissions, and so they were like, "You'll own your own team one day if you hustle hard enough, and if you don't, you're a loser." So I was kind of like,
well, that's the goal of every insurance person, is to actually own their own brokerage, which is totally different than.
Yeah, and that's it seemed like it really modeled that, but
with this, you're trying to get other people to sell insurance, and then you get a percentage of their profits, and then if they recruit more people, then you get a percentage of their profits.
Brokers.
So it is very much organized like a pyramid, which is exactly how MLMs function.
Yeah, you want to be on the top of that pyramid is where you want to be.
So like Primerica is the one insurance.
That's what I was thinking. It's a pyramid scheme.
Ideally, you want to be outside of that pyramid.
I really did. I don't really talk smack because I actually really. I feel like maybe I'm just totally brainwashed, but I believed in the product. Like it's worked out for a lot of people. I don't know. So it didn't work out for me. And I've been told
I got wrapped up in one time.
Yeah, that it's a little bit not the position I was in wasn't the best. So
Well, and I feel like with all MLMs, there's kind of a gradient between like the extreme, like very much pyramid scheme ones on like one end of the spectrum and kind of almost like cult of personality ones versus the ones that are, you know, you can recruit people and pull more people in, but most of it's through sales and it's not a big, I don't know. I feel like there's a gradient there.
Yeah. And it was mostly the culture that rubbed me the wrong way. And I was like, yo, I got to get out of this. How they were just like, everyone you meet, you're going to have to bring this up to your friends, your family, only the friends you're going to have, you're just going to have to surround yourself with people who work in this company. That's going to become your life. And I was like, wow, I don't want
to financial sales.
Yeah. I was like, no, thank you.
In that world, yeah, it's pretty bad. I don't sell, but it's pretty bad for the people that do.
Yeah, I just realized it wasn't for me. It was like I got super weird.
But I feel like in the world of sales, like you can get really, really good at sales without having to just like rope in every single person around you. Like you can use SEO and internet marketing and social media and stuff.
It's really hard on the financial side because a lot of the stuff you have to have what's called a pre-existing relationship with them.
Exactly. Yeah. And what you know, I did, those were my first clients, but I didn't want to have to end up being the person that when your friends and family see you coming, they're like, oh shit, she's going to bring it up. You know, I don't want that life unless it's something that I'm really, really passionate about. And I just wasn't. So
I worry about the people that are really good salesmen, can sell to a lot of people, but don't know jack shit about what they're selling. And in the financial world, that happens a lot.
It really does. Yeah. They just have a really good personality. And I was like, that's me. And I don't care about this product. I don't care about this.
Yeah. I mean, my dad does EPR stuff, and quite often he'll have to sit down with the client and explain to the client what they actually bought because it's not what sales sold them.
Yeah.
I got distracted.
Years ago.
Damn, I always thought that multi-level marketing was when, you know, a lot of drug dealers are living in the same apartment building.
Okay, wow. People I don't even know are pushing my show on Twitter now.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hey, nice.
What's happening?
Good one.
I think I'm gonna have to disappear in a sec. Do you mind if I take a quick second to chill, actually, Neil? Because I've got a new thing.
Sure.
So, on Wednesday, we released the first episode of Pub Religion, which is a new podcast type thing I'm doing, where we've got myself and then an atheist co-host and a Christian co-host, and we're just going to kind of chat about stuff. So it's an atheist, a pagan, and a Christian sit around chatting about theological stuff.
All right.
I want to come on one day, Sam.
Oh yeah, we intend to have guests eventually, and Neil, you are pretty much top of the list.
Oh, thanks, buddy.
You're top of the pyramid.
Yeah, I'm on top of that fucking pyramid. There you
As
go.
long as you recruit more people underneath you.
You got Randolph and Dave and Swede and me. We're all underneath you, Neil.
That's
As long as you put me in touch with other people.
Lumpy.
We'll all be Neil's downlines.
Yeah.
Each one.
But seriously,
Neil
as
is
long
the
as it's
gold
peaceful, as long as it's peaceful, and it doesn't turn into a shit show of gotcha moments. Basically, it's not a debate. You know, that's that's where it's
no.
going.
I'm not going to do that.
I
We're just
mean,
gonna have fun.
Yeah, no, it's. I don't know if you
I'm
guys
just
would
saying
know
in
them,
general,
but
not that I would suspect you guys would do that.
yeah, I mean, it's our Christian is an Episcopalian who debated Matthew Thompson the other day, so fairly chill.
Interesting. Interesting. So we'll have pagans in there. I'm an ex-pagan as well as being an ex-Jew too. So.
Oh, there you go. So yeah, I will try and poke you about that at some point, Neil.
Oh, it's all right. I like getting poked.
Well, I am going to go give my boyfriend some attention because I've only given one of my partners attention today, so we need to fix that.
You go do that, Sam, and enjoy yourself.
Right.
But practice,
fair enough.
you know,
Nice to meet you, Sam.
poking. Yeah. Okay. There you go.
Make sure you distribute your poking evenly.
On the note of poking, did you know that you can still poke people on Facebook if you know where to look?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I still get poked from time to time. People, man, I don't know. Thomas, how do you deal with it, man? Because I get people like 25 fucking friend requests daily.
I just don't look at them.
Okay.
Someone named Wang Wang added me today. I don't think that's the person.
Wang Wang.
And also,
Wait a minute.
Thomas. Hang on. Also, Thomas, I sent you my
That
phone
name
number
sounds familiar. I think they've added me too a while ago.
Cool.
on Twitter. So you have it now.
Well, you tell me now that I've emptied my beers.
What? Well, I have some more. You want me to send some down you via?
I mean, I could run downstairs. How much longer is this show going on?
Oh shit, we'll go until we get tired of doing it.
Here,
3-4 hours.
Yeah, until we get tired of talking. Yeah.
All right.
We'll stick around as long as you guys want to, man.
Well,
if you don't have plans tonight and you want to hang out and just have some fun, fuck, we'll do
well,
it.
hey, since this is the Hanna Vaughn after party, does anyone have any questions for her? While I run and grab another beer.
You got any questions for me? Why? Because I'm another beer.
I also we do a little something called Round the Horn, where we have a question that we ask and everybody gets to share their answers. So we're going to do that at some point too. Okay.
Oh wait,
So
no, I
fun.
want one of these. This is Amber.
Yeah,
Yes,
I don't
please.
think they were listening.
I know. We're talking about beer. I'm sorry.
It's more important.
I don't wanna
Okay.
interrupt
Wait,
that
so we do a
conversation.
roundabout.
It's called,
Yep.
so
A
it's called,
roundabout.
no, it's called Round the Horn.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Giggity.
Hey, quit picking on Neil. He says boot, and that's
No.
Yeah.
Where's
And
that
what,
go?
how does it work?
I can't even find the fucking banner. Mikey's got shit all fucking fucked up here.
Hey, Hannah, while he's looking that up, I wanted to ask you, you do a killer Valley girl. Were you born in California? Are you
Yes.
from there originally? Yeah.
I'm from. I was born in Berkeley, California. Lived in the Bay Area for a while. Then I moved to
love
like
the
the
Bay Area.
Sacramento Valley. Yeah, yeah. I love the Bay Area too. I wish I could live there, but it's so expensive.
My ex had a uncle in Vallejo, and we used to go down and visit there. It was fantastic.
I just want to cry talking about it. I love California, but
Yeah.
it's damn expensive. I'll go back one day.
Here it is.
And every now and then you drive into Oakland by accident at night if you're a tourist.
Where am I? Yeah. No, I used to live like right by Oakland. So.
Oh, yeah.
It's all good. I'm in Cincinnati. I'm already crying.
Hey, does Randolph ever sleep?
Sure.
Yeah. He sleeps on a big pile of wood.
Like a beaver.
Yeah.
No, Thomas hates when I do Valley Girl, though. He goes, please stop. And I'm like, what?
If you think that's an example of
should I?
sleeping, I gotta wonder about your sleeping habits now. It's good to see you, Oz.
You too. Yeah, sleep is scarce here.
Someone here quoting a Rat song.
Out of the cellar. Oz, it's good to have you in here. I'm glad you got the audio thing sorted out. What's new in your life?
Good to be here. Good to see you as well. Yeah, I put it aside. I forgot I was busy. Had my voice mod on last night because I was busy trolling these
crazy evangelical Christians last night, and I forgot to turn it off.
So your family?
Do what?
Crazy evangelical Christians, mostly your family?
Yeah, most of them. Yep.
I don't know how, like, I just really, really feel for, I never had that, you know, like a family that was like, what? You're leaving the religion? Like, I don't know. The one side of my family's, I guess, pretty religious, but I don't really talk to them. Like, I never really did. So
I have a family member who still works for the church.
And so, like, do you just not talk? And, like, it's just
We
weird?
talk all the time, and she's the person in my family I'm closest to.
That's fantastic.
Yep, that's cool. It's my brother. He pastors a church that has 700 or 800 members, and it's the same thing. He's the one I'm closest to.
Yeah.
That's
And
fantastic.
your aunt is pretty close with you as well, right?
It's like my shirt, by the way.
Yeah, but she's about this close to coming out. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I got to celebrate a win today because my wife and I were sitting on the couch while my fundamentalist parents were in the dining room talking to my kids, and they told the Easter story, and my wife looked at me and goes, "Now I understand why you think this is crazy." Because looking at it from the outside, that sounds batshit crazy.
That's how I've always felt. That's how I've always felt my entire life. Like, I never grew up with it. And then people would tell me things and I'd be like, what?
I'm like you, Hannah. I was never religious. I've always been an atheist as well. So there's a few people here who've never been in religion, right? Or yeah, you as well. So there's a few of us.
Yeah.
I tell Pastor Mike all the time, you know, him and I talk probably once or twice a day, every day. And we'll have a conversation. I'll tell him, I just can't believe that I believed all of that shit so deeply. And at Easter time, that's I was talking to my wife about it, and it's like they literally celebrate this murder, this brutal murder, and then they want to eat his flesh. And
blood magic.
It's like and I bought for 30-something years.
It feels so death culty.
Mm-hmm. It is.
Like, it scares the shit. It's always scared the shit out of me, kind of. And then I was like, but these people are so happy, sort of. And then you find out that they're just like you, and they're all just trying to figure out themselves, and everyone's a little fucked up, not just me.
Yep,
that's brilliant.
But now, who the hell we lose now?
Pardon?
Somebody jumped in and left.
It was
Stone Monkey. Stone Monkey.
But yeah, it's Hannah. The other thing I think about a lot. We had a show last night on Tart talking about, we had 3 Christians on, and I was an atheist, and it was Christians Behaving Badly was the title of the show. And one of the parts I was talking about is it's very similar to an abusive relationship. You don't really understand how fucked up it is, and how much trauma there is, and how badly you're actually wounded until you separate from it. And then you're like, oh shit, that was way worse than I ever thought it was.
Yeah, no,
I
absolutely.
think my mental health never was able to be repaired until I left. You know, it was terrible, and it ruined my first marriage and everything, and it was just absolutely abhorrent. And the amount of healing afterwards was pretty apparent.
No, that breaks my heart. Yeah, I mean, it happens to people all the time.
Jewish. No, there's no such thing as Eastern Judaism, Bill. I know this.
Or they kept it from you.
Maybe.
When the Christian says, well, why do you guys talk about religion so much if you don't believe in God? That's why. Because it fucks so many people up.
Yeah, no, there's a lot to unpack, and people are still traumatized by it, or so like me, like the reason I guess I care so much is because I just was trying to bebop through my life, and people were constantly like telling me, you're wrong and you're screwed up because you don't believe. And now you have to follow laws that you don't agree with because we feel a certain way. And so it's like, it's still a big part of my life, even though I've never grown up religious. And so it affects my life. So I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to shut up about it until that changes, because it does affect me.
Because we have religious people in our lives. And not only that, any belief system that starts out by telling you that you're broken from birth.
Yeah.
That's kind of fucked up.
We also have, believers in who vote, and that's fine. That's fine. But also, like, if you're not going to make educated decisions and you're going to believe in silly things and then vote things into existence that are going to affect my life based on Sky Daddy, I'm not okay with that.
Yeah, and electing public officials who believe this stuff and then try to create laws based around it.
Right.
Yeah, that affects me, and I'm not going to shut up about it.
Like Ted Cruz.
That's what got me going, because having been raised without religion for the first 16 years, I thought it was just an ethnic thing. There was Jewish people, Muslim people. And then when I was like 16, realized that they actually believed some of this mythology. And then when I was in college, I realized that people, as Hanna was saying, people were making decisions not only in their own lives, but in public life based on these beliefs. And I was like, hang on a second. And then when I was in college, I met people who believed the planet was only 6,000 years old and that, we didn't evolve. And I was like, how can you be going to school and not have had any kind of basic understanding of what we actually know about reality? It was just, for me, it was the exact opposite. And then I started seeing the pain that it caused people.
Oh,
so, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, I definitely went through like the angry atheist phase. And it still kind of perks up now and then.
yeah. Usually somebody will say something that triggers it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Something that's just absolutely hateful and just flat out incorrect. And it causes harm. When it causes harm, like, I have friends and people who in my life who I adore, who, like, you don't have to believe in the same thing, go about your day, whatever, teach your children what you want. But when it comes to a certain point when you're going to be fucking harmful, I have a problem with that.
See, I never went through the angry atheist phase, but I definitely don't like it when people do horrible, violent things to each other, or even kind of discriminatory things, bigotry and things like that. Those bother me, but they always have. Had nothing to do with whether or not it's religion. I have the same viewpoint and feeling about it, regardless of whether the source is a religious source or not.
Yeah, I think what frustrates me is when you can understand why people do horrible things, like, okay, they feel justified for this reason, or they have a mental illness. Not saying that people with mental illnesses are problems. Oh my God, I'm tipsy. Are monsters. I deal with mental illness myself, but so there's like all these different reasons that people do bad things. But when it comes to like, this bad thing is happening because how do I can you help me like articulate this? Because you believe that like that if you put a penis in a butthole, you're gonna go to hell. Like, I don't know how to say it otherwise. Like, it's just that's just fucking silly.
Yep, it is. Yep.
And that makes me mad because I'm like, I know people who
what
are
fucking
smart.
business is it of theirs anyways? Like, who gives a shit what you do?
And I know people who are smart who hold these beliefs, and I'm like, you would think you would apply the same kind of skepticism that you do to the rest of your life that you would to this, but this is where you draw the line, and this is where you're going to start being a dickhead. Like, I don't have patience for you. If you are mentally ill or you were going through some really crazy shit, I can understand why you would be an asshole. But when it comes to like this, like, you're just a busybody asshole.
And coins.
Points, and I'm getting fired up.
That one's on Thomas.
And a piggyback off that, what's really scary and or dangerous is there are still people all day, every day, and children all day, every day now that are being taught to read that book and to take it literally and to go and trust that literally that is the God-inspired text. And of course they'll cherry pick, but when they read that this person they go to hell, or they will not inherit the kingdom of God for this, and you're taught to buy that, and that's programmed in there. It goes from not just indoctrination, but now they move into teenage years, in their early 20s. Now they're just intoxicated on bullshit. That's lies. It's hate. It causes damage. It causes hurt. And that's, to me, that's where it gets dangerous. Is we just keep, or not we, they just keep kicking out these babies that turn into teenagers, that turn into adults that are still carrying that hatred.
That bums me out, especially as a preschool teacher. Like, or I used to teach kindergarten through third grade. Sorry. And so I just, I want to have hope for future generations. And when I see parents who just are hateful and are teaching their children to be hateful, I just like it just breaks my heart. I don't know what else to say.
It's painful.
It genuinely, like, it is heart shattering.
And to expound on Oz's point about it hurting people, it gets really bad when there's human rights violations because people aren't thinking properly. And one strong example of this would be Saudi Arabia making it a law that the Dawkins Foundation uncovered and reported on a few years ago, that atheists are automatically classified as terrorists when they're discovered. And then it's a death penalty. This is a human rights violation in my view.
Yeah.
In Saudi Arabia?
Yes, Saudi Arabia has done that.
Jeez.
Atheism or apostasy? I'm pretty sure that there's a death penalty there for people who leave Islam, but if you're like a tourist who doesn't believe in God who visits,
the apostasy thing was always there because of Sharia. No, this is a new law that was enacted specifically for people who don't believe in any deities, regardless of whether they used to be.
You know,
so if you like show up.
You know the ridiculous thing about that too is that Saudi Arabia has an astronomical number of closet atheists. Like it's when polled anonymously, obviously when they're polled publicly, then the numbers are vastly skewed because people are terrified of being openly atheist. But when polled anonymously, about 5% say that they're convinced atheists and about 20% say that they're non-religious.
And you know, which is I believe that because people
and that was like 10 years ago that I saw that poll.
It's probably
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised because there's people contacting us from Canadian atheists from countries like Saudi Arabia and Iran and other places that are under Sharia regimes and Islamic regimes that are making it a threat to their lives. They want to get out of there and they're desperate and they're at the point, some of them, where they don't even care. They're going to run for the border if they have the chance. It's so desperate for some of them because they can't even tell their family and friends about it.
And those stories just demonstrate that what the late great Mr. Hitchens said, that religion is poison, and it most things
poisons everything.
Most things that it touches, it's going to poison it.
Except the
I wish it didn't have to be that way. Like I wish it could just be like, I thought that when I was young and my mom told me like, oh, religion is just a personal thing that people do to feel good about life. I wish it just stayed that way. But it had, unfortunately, like if you have a certain mindset and a belief system, it bleeds into the rest of your life and it affects your communities and your country and your laws.
You know, the timing for lifting the drinks there was perfect with what you were saying, Hannah. It was right on cue.
Except the Sikhs. The Sikhs are like militantly charitable. They're cool.
Yes, they are. Yeah,
and the Jains. Because they're militantly nonviolent, if that makes any sense.
I know. That's like, honestly, I always think like, what religion would I belong to if I had to pick? And I don't know. I think I studied like Buddhism in like when I was like 12 and 13. And I was like, that sounds pretty dope. Nirvana sounds cool, but it also kind of sounds a little magical.
Yeah.
Randism looks pretty good. That's Satanism. It has some tenets that are good to live by. But
okay. I agree with all the tenets of the Satanic Temple already. Yeah.
Googleism is quite compelling too. It's a belief that Google, the search engine, is a goddess that is omniscient. It's a real thing.
Okay.
If it's omniscient, then it's kind of a bitch because half the time that I search for something, it gives me the opposite of what I'm looking for.
I think all of you need to go read the Principia Discordia.
You're probably just searching on opposite day.
I think all of you need to read the Principia Discordia and all hail the hot dog god.
What is that like?
And it is an actual religion that is recognized by the U.S. military.
It sounds tasty.
By the military.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm sure the story is awesome.
Is Pastafarianism even recognized by the U.S. military?
Yes, it is.
It is?
Well, I don't know about by the military,
Not by
but
the
it
military.
is actually recognized as an atheist religion.
Yeah, you can get your ID taken with a
Yeah.
colander on your head
Yeah,
because
I've
it's
seen
your
that.
religion. Yeah.
That's
Well,
how
I
it
would-
started. Buddy, they wouldn't
would-
allow Buddy to have his picture taken with the colander.
I would
Oh,
dispute-
it's not really? Oh.
Yep.
I disagree with saying that Pastafarianism is an atheist religion because the flying spaghetti monster is a deity, and the Pastafarians believe that that is a real deity.
No,
I mean, are there like actual are there unironic Pastafarians?
Yes,
Because if there are, I feel really they're missing the joke.
I can't speak to somebody's beliefs, but there's some people that are pretty serious about it.
That was deadly accurate timing because Pastor Mike's just jumped in. He is the official pastor for Pastafarianism. So,
Wait, like for real? Like, is that true?
He should come on and tell us about it.
No, I'm kidding. No, I'm kidding.
Okay, I'm like, wait, for like he is like the guy? Like, I didn't know that. I was about to freak out.
What's really weird out here, I work with a lot of people who are Sikh, and there is a Christian Sikh temple in Surrey, not too far from where I'm moving. And those two religions are brutally in conflict with each other, but there is a Christian Sikh temple.
That's interesting.
I know, I'm dying to go there.
I think my first relationship I was ever in, he was like, I'm a Zen Christian. It's like Buddhism and Christianity together. And I was like, yeah. I'm like, what?
And you have to be careful with Buddhism too, because like Shinto Buddhism gets into like the old racist Japanese trope.
Yeah.
Of well, not trope but from their perspective, if you're not Japanese, it was very exclusionary.
Really? See, I really like the idea of making peace with suffering. That's something that's really interesting to me. Like, isn't that like a
there's
practice of
so many
Buddhism?
flavors of Buddhism. Like I've talked with secular Buddhists who will say, "Oh no, Buddhism is not really like religious. We don't believe in gods or afterlife or things like that."
It's like not a deity.
But then
right?
I've literally also talked with Buddhists who believe in these weird burial rituals for their spirit to go on to the next plane and stuff. And it's there's a lot of different flavors of Buddhism, and I think most people don't realize how the variety that exists there.
Sean Schemmel, the voice of Goku, who Ethan got to interview, is I think a secular Buddhist or an atheist Buddhist or something like that. Yeah, no, that's interesting.
Sean Schemmel.
Yeah.
It's dangerous to oversimplify anything.
Yeah, I guess so.
Well, and a lot of times people, they know that there's 1,001 different or 30,000 different denominations of Christianity, but they don't realize that Islam also is fractured into a bunch of denominations, and Buddhism is fractured into denominations, and Hinduism is fractured into denominations. It's like there's not just one of each of these,
I'm sorry, but someone in the comments, Native Atheist, says that dude with Hannah looks like a stoner. And I just want to say that I love that someone said, someone said that dude with Hannah. Like, yeah, who the fuck is he? But
that dude with Hannah.
Also,
this is why we're friends, Thomas, because you look like a stoner.
I'm more of a stoner than you are.
Thomas, in the research I've done on various religions, I've been able to identify 99 denominations of Islam. So Sunni and Shia are only two of them. There's actually a denomination along one
Every
of the
religion has denominations.
Yeah, I know. But Islam has 99 that I've been able to identify. And there's one near Africa.
I got 99 denominations. Sorry.
There's one near Africa where the men cover their bodies instead of the women.
Good. I'm sorry.
It is extremely hated by Islamic State, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
I'm familiar with like Sunni, Shia, Ahmadi, strict Quranists. Like there's a bunch that I'm not familiar with 99 different ones. So
there's a couple of names I don't know. We should compare notes. Then I can have my list longer than the 99.
That sounds really dumb.
Yeah, it goes to show all those different sects that.
Did you say sex?
You see
so much different sex.
Yeah, that too. But all of that diversity, it really speaks. I mean, it illuminates very well how much goes into our beliefs, but at the same time, so little. While it takes All it takes is just one fundamental premise, one idea for somebody to convince you of speculation as truth. One little tiny thing. And that can set everything else, well, because of this and this, and then this and that we can talk about how you just hear the flood story, or you hear some of these Bible stories and you talk to it like you say it like you're talking to a 5-year-old. Well, yeah, if you make it sound like that, well, what you're doing is it's not really oversimplifying. You're scraping off all the bullshit. You can look at how things are formed, the very core of it. And what is it? Say it as simple as you can. That's what it is. And you realize how much excuses we put on top of forming our beliefs.
Whoa,
when you accept one little thing and then you can accept one little other thing, it's just a tiny little baby climb, thought by thought, and get people to assume so many different truths based on one little fundamental thing that they just got convinced of, or they had a powerful influence in their life, and it's something that came from trust. It all takes is one assumption that just will just send everything else toppling. That's why we have so many different organisms, 30,000 different, fucking whatevers. It's because all it takes is one fundamental influence in somebody's life. They had an uncle, mom, dad, that had just a slightly separate, different idea. And they pass it down to the kids. And it's just any accepted truth. And we can be lied to very, very easily. And we can accept lies. We lie to ourselves easily.
You're lied to
way
myself
too
all the
easily,
time.
actually.
That's
Learning how to
really-
lie to yourself is learning
Sure,
how to
good
not
enough.
get lied to by other people.
Gosh darn it, people like me.
That's really deep for a stoner like me.
Yo,
What do you
bro,
think
I'm
created that
ready to
type of
go
mind
for the
frame,
next
man?
round.
Twice ever.
You're missing one other element there, IQ, and that has to
Lead?
do with the population.
Boron?
Because when you look at it, humans
Deuterium?
start to bifurcate around 1200. So the ability for human beings to remain as a single cohesive unit, like family units or small towns, works well up to about 1,000. But when you start to pass that number, you start developing these internal bifurcations between others and not others.
Yep.
What?
Wait, explain that.
Who lives to 100,000?
No, not years.
No,
people.
Like people.
Oh.
Wait, no. Can you break that down for me?
Who's stoned now?
Oh, he's like 1,000 years old. Who the fuck? No, okay, no.
Where are you,
What?
Methuselah?
Methuselah is real.
You're
So if
talking
you
about
look-
like tribalism is a social construct that is almost inevitable with how we live.
Wait,
Well,
a social
because-
construct. I think that's kind of. I mean, we're social beings. You
Yes.
think it's
Of course it is.
Yeah.
Tribalism has been around since the dawn of humans.
And so as family units started collecting together, because there's like an economy of a scale, right? You got more people, you got more labor power, and then you can start laying down lands and agriculture and this kind of stuff. But what you notice in communities, the small little towns of 500, 600, 700, they work fairly well. They have these kind of internal cohesive systems that allow things to kind of maintain a degree of balance. But when
Okay.
they grow to a certain size, you start to have these divisions that are created because of interpretation over how things should be done or
Okay.
how the scripture should be interpreted. And those divisions start to split the community in two. And then you get half the community saying, screw you all, we disagree. We're moving down the river and we're starting our own town with our own Second Baptist church of the, this river. And then it happens again and again and again. And so humans really work well in, numbers around 700, 800. But when you start hitting 1,200, 1,500, you just start to find those splits.
and that's
and
like the defined number that they found. Like when they
Depends-
get around that number.
It depends on what the split's going to be. So, for example,
Wouldn't it be situational, period?
So for example, like I work in universities, and so what we find is that when you have like the science department with 3,000 students, they subdivide into like, well, I'm biology, well, I'm biochemistry, well, I'm chemistry, well, I'm physics, and they tend to stick to their own kinds.
Chemistry.
Yeah, exactly. But if you have a small college, so like I'm working at a small college now where we only have 700 students, and like everybody knows everybody, except they split along the varsity line. So either you're varsity or you're not varsity. And so humans will find ways to either be in group, out group, depending on so once you pass that 700, they start to kind of go, well, I'm not part of that group. I'm part of this group. But it might not be a big division. But when it comes down to fundamental things like, who gets to eat first or who gets to be on the top of the pyramid or what, who's interpreting which scripture which way, then it creates a whole nother community.
And now that they've built a business, as far as the churches here in America. I'm sure others do it, but they now have these associations where they help pastors learn how to church plant. And once they hit that 800 to 1,000, I can't remember what the exact number is because my brother's a part of one of them. Instead of splitting and finding a reason to split, they've now found a new way to do it. And now they have campus. They have different campuses. So it's the same church and they'll meet at a different building, but it's up on the screen. So there's nothing live. Everything's happening up on a screen.
Oh, damn it.
So instead of splitting, they just have their campus sites.
Interesting. I'm sorry. I'm just laughing because Rudolph was like, just.
I tried to get his butt on the main camera.
And those campuses will
He was just like featured. Like, this is not just an atheist channel. This is also a woodshop channel.
Yeah. Actually, I'm drilling into cement. The big drill, and then
are
the
you?
second drill I'm tapping in. So it's that 2x4 is in there solid, but there's a layer of styrofoam between the cement and the wood to prevent condensation and turning into mold and things like that.
Randolph, did you use the blanks to fire the nails in?
I'm not using nails. I'm using screws for everything here.
It's fun when you nail the nail framing into concrete. You can get the little things with the 22 cartridges.
Yeah.
And you hit them and it blows it in.
Yep.
Yes, of course. Leave it to the Americans to we want to put holes into concrete with a gun. In Canada, we just use a screw.
I don't know.
It's not a gun.
That's what it is. Yeah, that's probably the reason behind it.
So I've used those before.
Yeah. What the hell? Yeah, this is much stronger than those guns because they're screwed into the cement.
Concrete.
Yeah, the concrete. Thank you. Cement is when it's wet. You're right.
Hey, cement is part of the aggregate.
Yes, cement is to concrete what flour is to cake.
Wow.
Boom, mind blown.
If you would play 7 Days to Die, you would know this stuff.
Oh my God!
You have to make cement and mix it with cobblestone to get concrete.
I wasn't even thinking about that, but you're right. Yeah, 7 Days to Die, or building houses when you're in college.
So I had a random thought, and I just wanted to clarify something here with Thomas here. Thomas, now that I have your phone number, you can expect drunken 4 a.m. phone calls.
Shit.
You've got my phone number. You've never sent me drunken 4 a.m. phone calls.
Oh, believe me, I got my hand on the press send button all the time, but I go, nah, he's too nice.
I don't give my number out to a lot of people, but I also am very comfortable with the block button.
Yeah, he blocked me already.
I will never give you pause to use that. So.
Oh my God.
I'm on call 24/7, so I'm used to 3 a.m. phone calls.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
24/7.
I dated someone who was an on-call staff member, and I just remember him waking up, and I could tell when he wasn't actually awake but had answered his phone because he'd be talking, but he wouldn't be making any sense, and I'd be like, babe, like, actually wake up, please, because he'd just be like, oh yeah, you just gotta connect to the refrigerator, and I'm like, oh shit. He'd literally answer in his sleep and not make any sense to the poor client because he was like IT and tech support or whatever. And yeah.
Have you tried turning it on and back off again?
Unplug it and then put it in space. And I'm like, no, he's not awake.
Oh shit.
My work can't call me after 3:45 a.m. So there's that.
Oh, that a union thing?
Yeah.
Lucky you.
That's nice.
Yeah. Kudos to whoever thought putting that in the collective agreement.
Yeah, no kidding.
My dad
we have time I get up in the morning. So
we have neighbors that like to blare their bass at all hours of the night, and it's fun. Yeah, and finally today, we hadn't really touched base with them because of COVID.
We've asked them in person to not blast music.
But today I saw them cooking a barbecue, and I brought beers over, and I'm like, hey, I haven't met you. Yo, hi, I'm Thomas, and handed them beers. And I was like, oh, and by the way, we don't mind if your music is on, but can you turn the bass down? And I'm hoping that the whole "you can catch more flies with honey than vinegar" trick works.
Or beer.
So
yeah.
we'll see.
Yeah, it probably will. Probably. Michael,
hope
he
so.
brought me some
You've
beer. He's a nice guy. Maybe we'll tone down a little bit on the bass.
Yeah, but you've asked him in person before, and it didn't
Well,
work.
I asked the other one in person like 6 months ago, and I think he just forgot.
Other one.
The other one.
Okay. I want to do the little game thing, that round the horn thing that I was talking about.
Yeah, that was like an hour ago.
I know, but everyone was having a good time. So, hang on.
So we're not having a good time anymore?
Thanks for tuning in, everybody.
Explain the rules.
Hang on. I had something here.
But
Okay.
did Mikey leave you questions, or are you making them up?
I'm making them up. I'm
Someone's
capable,
asking
you know.
about rules. This is an atheism community.
Shush.
Rules.
We don't need no rules.
The last time was everybody. It was all males on the screen, so we all had to had to tell what Brad Pitt role would make us go gay for Brad Pitt.
I can tell you when I realized that so I didn't grow up with the generation of Brad Pitt being hot. So I can tell you when I realized he was hot, which was not that long ago.
When did he stop being hot?
I didn't know he was hot because I grew up where he was always kind of an older dude.
Ah.
So he was always like, oh, he's like a dad, and I was like a kid, you know. But then I watched, like 2 years ago, I watched Thelma and Louise.
Oh yeah.
And I looked at my mom because she goes, "You haven't seen Thelma and Louise? Let's watch Thelma and Louise." And I watched it, and I go, I realize why everyone was obsessed with Brad Pitt now.
Quiet. I feel really old right now.
I'm not that much older than you. I am not that much older than you. Brad Pitt was always like a hottie, like in Troy and in Fight Club and
yeah, but I didn't grow up with Fight Club.
Snatch.
I didn't grow up with Snatch.
I watched those movies as a kid.
We're okay,
As
Neil.
a
Brad
kid?
Pitt's older
Yeah,
than
but
us.
when you're a young girl, when you're a 12-year-old girl, you're not
Yeah.
supposed to be attracted to like grown-ass men.
That's right.
Fair enough.
And I wasn't, at least. I liked like cute boy band baby faces. I didn't like chiseled ass Brad Pitt. Chiseled ass sexy ass Brad Pitt.
I could tell as a straight boy growing up.
Well, I'm queer as fuck, so maybe that's the problem.
I could still tell that Brad Pitt with his chiseled abs in Troy
I didn't
was
like
an
abs.
objectively attractive man.
I liked boys my
Yeah.
age.
Agreed.
I liked boys my age, so I never at any point thought Brad Pitt was hot until I got old enough and was like, oh, holy shit.
So you see,
I get
we're
it
right
now.
where we were last time. Is we've got Brad in Thelma and Louise, Brad in Troy. These were all the movies that we were referencing.
Yeah, we mentioned it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I said it in Interview with a Vampire.
Oh, that's
I didn't think he was hot in Interview with a Vampire, and I watched that as a teenager. I thought
was
he
the
just
hair.
looked like he looked silly.
It was the hair for me.
Okay. All right. So let's start this version of Round the Horn.
All right.
We're going to start, of course, with the guest of honor, Hannah, and of course, Thomas will go out right after her. What is the most useless talent that you have?
Oh,
You know exactly what it is.
That's pretty good, actually.
That was fantastic.
But it's
I do
useless.
pretty good chicken too. Yeah, of course. Well, I don't know. Imitations aren't exactly useless.
People get paid for that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. People have
Does that sound really
TikToks
good?
just doing that.
Sorry.
I can do that one too.
Yeah,
So-
little goats.
Wow.
Thomas, you're up.
I'm actually pretty good with a Chinese yo-yo. And I can do this.
It's almost as good as this.
Whoa, what the fuck? You took your fucking film off,
If you went back in time, you could be the new Jesus.
I know, right?
You knew exactly what I was going to do, didn't you?
No.
No, really?
All right, Dave, what about you? What's your most useless talent?
Oh, God. I am so useless at so many things, but I've tried so many things. I think
Hard to narrow
my
it down.
talent is I will try anything, and I'm not afraid to be useless at it. I own a guitar and I own a
That's
drum
useful
set.
though.
Are
Like
you
not
sure
not
that
being
it isn't
afraid, not
having
being afraid to fail
talent?
is incredibly useful.
Are you sure it isn't having the most useless talents?
Yeah, maybe that's it. That could be it.
All right, sweet. What about you?
All of my talents relate to my job, so they're useful.
That's fantastic.
I go
bastard.
Like, give me one crumb of a piece of information about somebody, and I can, within 24 hours, tell you their entire life story, what teachers they've had, where they grew up, what streets, all of that. It's having the database and everything that I have.
Because you work for the CIA.
Actually, I work in investment fraud, so
I almost got hired as a PI kind of
So
person.
you have access to information.
I have access to information that nobody else ever should, and I have a free subscription to Nexus Lexus and stuff like that, where I can actually just go and find anything about anybody.
Yeah,
I've gotten so good at it that I know more about our neighbors than they probably know about ourselves a day after they moved in.
LexisNexis is popular with law firms. I have quite a few clients who use it.
Yeah.
So this is a reminder to everyone out there: don't piss off Irish Swedes.
I want to hold a course Irish
as I
Swede
say
on
to
my
people-
desk at tomorrow.
So as I say to people, don't make me take an interest in you.
So does your knowledge of, or does your work with financial fraud also involve crypto, or is it specifically like stocks?
No,
and
it's
investment,
I delve in the world of what's called the 506 A, B, C, and D rules, which are the private investments, hedge funds, 3C7, venture capital, private equity, things of that nature.
It's pretty broad, but okay.
I have to pee so bad. Please continue.
Go for it.
Okay, but keep going.
All right, let's end the stream now.
What happened?
It's like, let's end the stream now.
No, I'm having so much fun.
Next up, IQ. What about you? Because apparently Swede doesn't have.
Don't try.
Well, the thing is, I'm kind of with Swede there. Everything I consider a talent, I utilize, or has been some utility to me at some point. Honestly, the most useless talent that I have is one that I haven't realized I have yet.
Don't know what that means, but
my
okay.
most useless talent is not knowing what my talents are till I discover them.
Everything that I know is a talent, I use it. It's useful. The only useless talent that I have is one that I'm not using. It's useless. I'm not using it.
Okay. So you can't do any like stupid human tricks, or like
I can
make it
vibrate my
noise,
eyeballs.
Like
not kidding.
I can do that too.
It's not like a floating eyeball IQ joke. I can seriously
that too.
IQ, we gotta see it.
Nope. Not falling for that.
Yeah, he won't.
I can do a demonstration.
You have to have
If you wanna
faith,
zoom
brother.
Neil,
All right,
my
let's-
useless talent is my heart clicking.
Yeah, but I think
Oh,
that
yes!
you're
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
That is not.
I'm a literal cyborg.
not
But I
useless.
don't know if that's a
Mechanical heart
talent.
That is
Is it a
dope.
talent? That's a side
was gonna
effect
say
of an
yeah.
accident.
I think it's a byproduct.
Yeah, exactly. It's a side effect of an accident.
How many other talents are byproducts of something?
Well, byproduct of living, I guess. But anyway, next up, Randolph. What's your useless talent other than construction?
Well, construction isn't useless. I guess I can imitate Hank Hill's voice a little bit, but I think I don't do it quite right.
Propane and propane accessories.
Yeah,
Yeah,
propane and propane accessories. Make sure you put the emphasis on the right syllables.
Right. All right. So, all right. I don't even know what to make of that one. Gorilla.
I've
you're
never
up.
been paid for it. That's why it's useless.
Oh, I got you.
I'm trying to think of stupid. Like, I mean, much like Swede and IQ, like I have quirks that I use all the time, but I think probably the most useless one is that I'm somewhat quadrextrous, where I can not only pick up things with my feet, but I can like hold things down and hold people down with my feet. And
So you
use
were
my-
actually a gorilla.
I said that. I came up with the name in all honesty. I look like a gorilla. I have scrawny little tiny legs, and I have an opposable big toe.
I am so jealous of you right now.
Up with their feet.
Show us.
I think every
Most
man
useless
out there
talents.
can pick up their underwear with their toes and flick it up, and then we can catch it.
Yeah, oh, I do that
Sounds
all
like
the
the name
time.
of a punk rock band, Opposable Big Toe. Love it.
opening up for no thanks.
Yeah.
See, Quiet Gorilla, we're like brothers from another mother because my big toe also is very
It's lollipop shaped.
Yeah.
Is that what we were talking about? Lollipop toes? You got a
I was
lollipop
saying he
toe.
could pick things up with his big toe.
Oh, he's got monkey
So,
feet.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Cheers.
There's a database for like celebrities and their feet, and you earned yourself a spot on there.
I got lollipops too. Mine's bacon flavored.
What the fuck? Why do you have that?
A friend of mine got it for me when they went down to, I don't know, Oregon or something. He was down there and they found those. So
You know what? I learned actually don't question good things.
Right. He said, I got you something. It's bacon flavored lollipop. I love you.
Yeah, thank you. No questions asked.
All right, Oz, your turn, sir. What's your useless talent?
The one that comes to mind, I think it's useless. There's no purpose in being able to do it. I can leg press about 1,200 pounds for no stupid reason at all.
That's incredible.
Incline?
What's that?
Incline leg? That's yeah.
That's like mutant.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, my
next
leg-
time I gotta change the tire, could you just come by and like lift up the back end of my car so I can change the tire real quick? Or-
Damn those legs.
So when we all meet down in Texas, you'll see I have legs that are like tree trunks.
I was going to say you must have knees like a cow.
Yeah.
But can you sweep like Randolph?
No.
That's all his ballroom dancing lessons.
That's right. Yeah.
That's why I had kids. I'm kidding.
All right, SMLR,
Wait a
your
second.
turn.
No, I'm still curious about this. Can you do it once? Because there's actually a gene that certain populations have 2 copies of, and it gives them like superhuman explosive strength. You see it in power lifters.
I wonder if I have that because I'm like stupid strong for no reason.
Can I just say, based off of something in the chat, Theoretical wrote, suddenly it's night at Randolph's.
It's been working all day.
Just a second ago, we were looking at it. It was like daytime there. And all of a
That's how night works here in Canada.
Yeah,
The sun
it's like a switch, right?
The sun goes.
Nighttime, daytime.
We're higher north, right? We're higher north, so the sun kind of goes, and I'm done.
But I'm also in a valley between 2 mountain ranges just north of you guys. And so like when it goes behind that mountain, it's like literally it's a switch and it drops 10 degrees.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
If you want to see
The valley boy.
I can flip my camera around and open the curtains, but it's just lights across the water now.
Oh, right, you're
That's
there.
beautiful.
Yeah, but so Oz, like, can you do like 1,200 pounds in one, or can you do repetitions?
So without knee straps, I can do 2.
Yeah.
With knee straps, I can get 4.
Have you ever done 23andMe? Because that's one of the genes they test.
No.
Well, okay. I wonder if you have 2 copies of that gene.
I have
for the good
Neanderthal
ones.
genes that make me considerably itchy from mosquito bites.
Oh, how many?
My
So
sister has
you
that
have
too.
spit in the test tube?
Yeah, no, it's really interesting. I found
Yeah,
that I'm
I got
0.01% Jewish, which I had no idea.
Ashkenazi Jewish.
Yes.
Oh,
Right.
wow. And then how many Neanderthal traits have you got?
It's greater than 2%.
Oh, okay.
Greater than 2%?
Yeah,
Jason,
so
I
she has
think
so there's 2% of the population that have less than her.
I noticed
okay.
he said,
Okay.
with great disappointment, only 2%.
Yeah, I was going to say because mine's 88.
Wait,
So I'm
hold
mostly
on.
Neanderthal.
Wait, I'm confused how this works. I'm pulling it
too.
up. Yeah, no, I think I might be reading it wrong. It's like, okay, hold on. Talks amongst yourselves while I pull this up.
Well, I want to hear Stone Monkey. I want to hear what Stone
Oh,
Monkey's
right.
useless talent is.
On the Sweet Irish's note, I can poop out my abdomen because I have an ostomy.
You can poop
Okay.
out your abdomen.
Okay, I'm
Yeah.
not hungry now.
Like when you poop, your abdomen comes with it?
No, you got it.
No, he's got.
That's-
He has the stoma.
Oh.
He has the
Oh,
stoma.
okay, got it. Like you got the whole thing going on there.
Yeah,
Dang.
I have no colon, so
Is it on?
Damn.
Is it on command or like,
Just
or is it just every time that you eat?
every time I eat, basically less command than if you are normal.
Oh,
Dave wandering around with.
They couldn't relocate the sphincter, huh?
Ooh, look at that.
There's nothing. Yeah, if they remove the colon, there's nothing to connect it to.
But we are
I
all
have no colon,
designed
no
in
rectum,
God's image.
None of that.
Oh.
Right.
So, yeah,
so does he have a
basically
belly
it's just-
button?
Yeah.
Stone, how long ago?
13, 14 years ago, something like that.
Oh wow, okay. Because I had one 13 years ago, but I had mine reversed.
There's like a whole community of TikTokers who are
Yeah.
like, normalize the freaking ostomy bags, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, because like a lot of people have them.
Yeah. I mean, you don't realize
yeah.
like when you wake up after surgery, and like you have a bag.
And they're like, too bad. This is your life now.
Yeah.
It was emergency surgery for me that I was septic.
Me too.
Covering up and everything, and it was like, we have to bring you in, and I was like on death's door for like 8 hours or something like that. And
Everyone in the
for a
chat
week.
loves you now, man.
Did you have a pre-existing condition or?
Ulcerative colitis.
Okay, right, because I had Crohn's.
Yeah, very similar.
And I went septic, and they didn't know it for 6 months.
Holy fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I went in on
Wyatt
a
and I
Wednesday,
like
and
to compare our scars because I have
Yeah.
open
We do
surgery
our
and-
scar comparison because I've got like 40 staples still holding me together inside.
I got a scar going from my sternum all the way down to
Yep.
the
Yeah.
pelvis.
Dude,
Yeah.
science, man, and you're here to live the tale, and that's freaking dope.
Well, his is like 1 in 30 million. Like,
Wow.
I had what's called an ascending aortic dissection.
Wow.
So my aorta went.
It's marzipan, or what was it?
Marzipan.
Marzipan. That's it.
That's like worse than when I told Ethan on the pickup line last week. I was like, yeah, I'm about to get the Modelo shot.
I want the marshmallow shot.
I chimed in the chat. I said, the Modelo shot, I'll take 6.
So, 23andMe says, you inherited a small amount of DNA from your Neanderthal ancestors. Out of the 7,462 variants we tested, we found 224 variants in your DNA that trace back to the Neanderthals. Altogether, your Neanderthal ancestry?
Ancestry?
My ancestry accounts for less than around 2% of your DNA.
Oh yeah, but it doesn't. So, but what is it compared to the rest of the people in the data?
It says, I can tell you.
Yeah,
it
it
says,
tells you like you have more than.
I have more than 26% of their customers.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
A little bit.
So
I'm very itchy. So these are both very true things. I have a terrible sense of direction, and I'm very itchy when mosquitoes bite me.
Oh, me too.
That might be a blood type thing, though.
Really? I'm
Are
AB
you
positive?
O?
AB
AB
positive.
Oh,
I'm O positive.
yeah. O positive people tend to attract mosquitoes like nobody else's business.
That's wild.
I'm AB positive as well.
Ayo.
I'm O negative.
Oh, you're O negative.
Which he's universal, which is
I
why
know, I
I
was
love
gonna say,
having Dave
yeah.
on my blood donor team. By the way, it's myself and Dave over there and Randolph. We all three of us go together and donate blood all the time.
That's dope.
Yeah.
I'm actually, I'm due to go back.
What's weird though
Nice.
is my blood type on my birth certificate says I'm B positive, but when I last got my blood drawn, it said I'm AB positive. Is that like a weird?
No, that's not possible.
Yeah. Okay.
Somebody
So
screwed
someone
something up somewhere.
someone fucked up, right? That doesn't happen.
It sounds like it.
It does not happen. You can't
Okay.
just suddenly switch blood types. I mean, I can't say that that's never ever happened in
happened to me now.
history, but it's if something like that happens, it's rare.
There's
Yeah.
actually a form of human chimerism where you can actually have cells that
That's
have
what I'm talking
different DNA.
about.
Yeah.
Well, that
I mean, so it is rare, but it's more likely, using our rational thinking caps, it is
Someone
more
fucked
likely
up.
someone screwed up.
someone
Yeah.
in the 90s fucked up their
Or-
baby blood test.
Yeah.
Or in the womb, you absorbed your other twin.
Right.
Hey,
which is
Ooh,
yeah.
cool.
Or you had other DNA that got reincorporated into yours, and your blood is one DNA type, and your cells are another DNA type.
That's right. That's right.
But wouldn't they, when they're testing for blood type, wouldn't they always look at blood samples?
No, not always. That's why I'm saying somebody might have screwed up.
Huh.
Yeah, I think somebody didn't know how to read a baby blood.
Yeah, I mean,
as far as what type of blood you donate and what type you can receive, it would be based off of the blood that you currently have.
Yes, I mean, most places, I know in Canada, they blood type you when you first give blood because they want to make sure that they have it properly accurate, because you do not want to, screw up the cross type.
Yeah.
So if you've donated blood, I would go with that, not your birth certificate, because someone might have just simply did a dip test and screwed it up.
Yeah, no, that's kind of what I figured. I was just like, when I saw my birth certificate after I had given blood, I was like, wait, what the fuck?
Well, you can always get it checked again too. I mean, if it's really,
I figured I would, except I'm a fainter.
Oh. So
Yeah.
the next time you hurt yourself, you get Thomas to take a sample. Just put it in an egg cup or something.
Quick, grab a cup. Squeeze it.
Hannah, when I was younger, my mom insisted that I become a blood donor, and I just don't like needles. I don't like looking at them. I don't like the thought of them. I don't like anything. So one day she said, "Come meet me for lunch," and took me around the corner, like from where the restaurant was, and said, "Oh, we're just popping in here for a second."
That's not okay.
And this really, really attractive blood donor taker person came
In
out
like a nurse outfit
and said, "You must be Dave. Come with me." And I'm like, "All right."
and you didn't want to like act a fool in front of hot nurse chick.
Yeah.
Damn.
Jason, I sent you a fucking link. You should use it and jump in here with us.
It's good. Have you always been donating, Dave, or did Neil just coerce you into doing that?
No, that was my mom got me started when I was 28, and I did it for years and years and years. But then when I moved occupations, it was really difficult to schedule with the Vancouver blood donor clinics because the one downtown that I live next to doesn't open on like Fridays and isn't open after 3:30. So it was really difficult to schedule with work. So I didn't for quite a while. And then when Neil mentioned it, I'm like, yeah, I'm into that. And I started doing it again. And then he said, "You idiot, you have to do it on the same day we do." So we started doing that.
Yeah. So we made him come with us now.
I'm curious, after you donate blood, do you guys ever get itchy on the neck after the vampire bites you?
That's the anticoagulant. That's why it's itchy.
I only get itchy on the neck when Dave bites me.
That's an allergy to Dave.
Which has not happened that often.
Is there another Rune debut question?
We could do another round the horn if you'd like. Hang on, I have a whole bunch listed here.
I'm really curious what they are.
Let's play round the horn, dog.
It's not. I keep thinking of the atheist roundabout. Round the horn.
Table.
Round table. Oh
round,
no!
Round here it's called round the horn. All right, round the horn. Question number 2. Okay, no, we already did that one. What would be on the gag reel of your life?
All of it?
Oh, sweet Jesus.
The whole fucking thing. The whole fucking thing.
Oh, Nick, sorry. Jason finally jumped in, but when somebody dropped out, we'll bring you in here, Nick.
There was this one time that I was at the Dollar store. What do you guys have? Like the Dollar General? We have the Dollar Tree in California.
Oh yeah, we have Dollar Trees up here.
And someone was like in the aisle with me, but like not really near me, and she dropped all her shit, and I went. It's not that funny, but I went, "Oh, sorry," and she like went, "It's okay," and picked up her stuff, and then she looks at me and goes, "Wait, why'd you apologize?" And like we both just busted up laughing.
So you thought you did it?
No, I mean, she dropped her stuff and I just felt bad, I guess, felt responsible. But she was like a couple yards down, maybe like a yard or two down, and she dropped her stuff. And I was like, sorry. She was like, what? Did you just say sorry? It's like,
She
yeah.
from Canada or?
Yeah, really.
People think I'm Canadian all the time. All the time. I don't know why. I think it's because I apologize profusely.
I think that's excellent because you're very nice.
Yeah.
Because I'm nice. I apologize a lot, and sometimes I for no reason do a Wisconsin accent, and people are like, "Are you Canadian?"
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah, don't you know? Oh no, like I don't know. Like that was really bad, but like normally.
All right, Hannah will make you an honorary Canadian.
I was just going to say we'll make her an honorary Canadian.
Thank you.
Central
I
Canadian.
want your health care. Thank you.
If you
You're
don't
more than
already,
welcome.
if you don't already have a Comfort Canadian, I'm sure Neil will volunteer to help you out there.
We have Comfort Canadian. By the way, before we continue with this with Thomas, because you're up next, Thomas, but I switched my casing for my phone, right? Because I don't know if you remember, I had it down at Faithless Forum, and your sticker was on the old case. I need another sticker, man.
I used to have one too, but it fell off.
I can send you one. Or better yet,
come and get
come
it.
to the next Faithless Forum.
Well, of course, I've already got my plane tickets on hold for that.
Yeah,
right?
is it still happening?
It will eventually.
Yeah, I know. Well, everything happens eventually.
Well, really?
Yeah,
so I bought my tickets.
Eventually, like
no.
Well, after we have the first one,
you're assuming there's a first one.
There will be an announcement / update very, very, very soon.
Oh,
Yeah.
Who did we lose?
All right, Thomas, what's your gag reel?
lost Randolph.
Your
So
epic-
my gag reel moment is I was a brilliant 5-year-old boy who believed in David and Goliath because that's what you do when you're a 5-year-old Christian boy. And I was back in the States visiting because I was a missionary kid growing up overseas. And I discovered the wonder of roly-polies for the very first time.
Pillbugs.
And it's amazing how remarkably similar roly-polies look to
candy
rocks.
Oh.
And I took this is actually there's 2 different stories that are very similar, but both of them happened in my life. You'd think I would learn a lesson. But when I was 5 years old, I took a roly-poly, and let me back up because there's another story that I need to tell first. When I was younger, I had a bad tendency of like I would find random things and I'd just be playing with them, and all of a sudden I'd be like, oh crap, I swallowed a Lego. Or like one time I took a rock and I like shoved it in my nose and it got stuck there and they had to take me to the doctor. And they
were
put,
one of those kids.
they put pepper in my nose to get me to sneeze the rock out.
That's amazing.
You're
Well,
lucky.
when I was 5 years old, I went to this park and I saw this roly-poly and I was like, and then David took his sling and he put the roly-poly in the sling and he tossed it at Goliath and it went all the way up his nose.
And that is why religion is harmful.
And I was like, oh shit. Oh shit. It's stuck up there. Mom! And so I got a roly-poly stuck up my nose. And my parents were like trying to get it out, and then like I don't know if they went to the doctor or what. I was 5. I don't remember all the details, but I do remember someone, whether it was a doctor or a nurse or somebody, saying, "No, it's gone all the way down."
And legends say that it's still in his brain.
And legends say that the roly-poly is still putzing around up there to this day.
Still chilling in his brain. It's crawling around.
It's just grabbing your neurons going.
With its little legs.
But yeah, that's my gag reel moment, or one of the mini gag reel
Made
moments.
me gag.
Oh yeah, I have
real
a list.
big. Sorry.
List. All right, Dave. What about you, sir?
Oh, I have so many, but my
Pick
favorite.
the funny one. I want to hear one of your fucking when you were a carny. I want to hear one of the gag reel moments from those days.
You were a carny?
Yeah, he was totally.
No, that's a lie.
You were a fucking shut up. You were so.
No,
was he a carny at the Pacific?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
I
you
was
were a carny.
For
I
4.5
ran away.
years. I was a carny at the PNE, but I also used to be an avid mountain biker. And we started out mountain biking back in the day when you had to modify a bike. So you literally had to take apart a BMX and weld some stuff onto it.
Steel frames.
Yeah. And there was no suspensions or anything like that. So a couple of buddies of mine worked at shops, and we used to go out and break our bikes pretty much every weekend and weld them all back together and put new parts on them and all that stuff. So there's a place out here called the Delta Watershed. And
beautiful spot too.
It's absolutely fantastic. It's a wonderful place. It's full of owls and eagles and all kinds of wildlife. And yeah, it's a wonderful place to go riding your bike in the trails. So at one point in this trail, the trail goes around about a 50-foot ravine. And somebody decided one day that it would be a good idea that we ride down one side of the ravine and up the other side. So they're like, yeah, Dave, you go first. So I went down this one side of this ravine and I probably hit, I don't know, 40 miles an hour at the bottom. I buried the front end of my bike into the dirt and came flying up the other side at an ungodly amount of speed. And there's the one side that you come out on is lower than the side you go in on. So inertia being what it is and physics being what it is, you come out the other side at about 30 miles an hour off the top. So I went soaring through the air, and about 12 feet later, about 4 feet high, I hit myself a big ass tree dead on.
Oh my God.
Solid. I didn't hurt myself or anything, but it looked funny as hell from behind, apparently, because all my friends were lying on the ground laughing when I finally got up off the ground.
I just realized I never told my useless talent.
What the hell?
But you let the guest go first.
I always let the guests go first.
Right.
Of course.
Thank you.
But I forgot to tell
What's your useless talent, Neil?
Not answering questions.
Ooh, is that a talent?
Being too hospitable.
I think that might go to the top of the list now, sweet. I'm one of those idiot sticks who can do that bubble blowing thing without actually needing bubble gum.
What?
I can't do it right now, but yes, I can blow little bubbles off the end of my tongue.
I can gleek
with
really
your
well.
saliva.
Yes, with saliva, yes. People love it, because especially when one of the bubbles hits them in the face, they love that.
I don't know if that's a talent about your blowing skills or is something chemically wrong with your saliva.
Boy, that's got to be a popular. That's got to be
Anyone
can
do it.
Oh, wait.
Anyone
gotta
can
be
do it
popular
if they
thing.
practice.
The surface tension that your saliva has to have to make a bubble.
No, I used to be able to, like, from the bottom of, like, my, like, I don't know what it's called, like, the lower pellet.
Gleeking.
No, I can gleek, but I also can take, like, I can make, like, a bubble and then put on my tongue and kind of go.
Yeah, that's exactly what I do.
So saliva bubbles. You can blow saliva bubbles.
You need observable evidence.
I'm going to try to do it for the rest of the stream now.
Now, do you have to have two different blood types and to be able to pull that off?
I'll look into it. I'll see if
Wow,
there's any
this
papers
blowing
on it.
bubble skill must be real popular during this pandemic, eh?
Yeah, oh yeah, real popular.
Who just said A?
Hey,
that would be Randolph. He's Canadian. It's okay. It's a big
I'm
fucking
sorry.
flag behind him, so it's okay.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. No, Jenna's partner, I freaked out when I heard him say, "Y'all come back now." I was like,
isn't that great?
you here?
I live in Texas.
Or Beverly Hillbillies.
Yeah.
All right. What about you, IQ?
Well, I mean, everybody's got these fantastic stories, and shit. I mean, I can tell you what's on my gag reel
in your life that would be on
is
a gag
most
reel.
certainly a montage of me looking for shit that's in my hand, only to fucking find it after I've sat it down to make room in my hand to dig through something.
Yep.
Walking into a room, spinning around in a circle a couple times. Like, the fuck did I come in here for?
Yeah.
And just forgetting. ADD's a bitch.
Yeah. Have you ever been like, I gotta call you back. I don't know where my phone is.
or the infamous, your glasses are above your head and you're like, where are my glasses?
That's why my grandmother walks around when she can't find her glasses. She does this to check if she's going, where are my glasses?
But just you rub her belly at the same time?
Looking for a hat that's on your head. Just shit like that.
I was on a stream the other day and somebody was talking about how they lose their phone all the time. And I said, yeah, I used to have that problem all the time, and then I figured out you could just say, "Hey Siri, turn on my flashlight."
Oh, I can say, hey Google. Oh,
Yeah, so
fuck you, I'm busy.
We have a
How many
little
people's flashlights just turned on?
we have a little Google assistant.
We can find our phones. If
Yeah, we
just-
have little Google assistants that if we lose
We're
our
looking
phone,
up
we're
your
like,
room.
"Where is our phone?" And it'll start ringing.
That's awesome.
Come
I
on
need
now,
one
more
of those.
margaritas. That's my ringtone.
I say, "Hey Google, where's my phone?" My phone goes, "Fuck you." but I still find it though. I go, tricky little phone.
The phone starts saying hide and seek, bitch.
Have you ever asked
Throw in
Google
its
or
voice.
have you ever asked Google or Siri to fart?
No,
no. I can't say.
I've seen that fucking TikTok though, and that shit has me crying.
Google fart.
Happy to oblige.
Oh yeah.
Did that work?
Siri didn't have an answer for that.
No.
There's multiple responses too, and one of them is like, "Okay, I'll take the fall for this one, and I'll do another just to clear the air."
Hannah, next one is you tell Google the cheat code for Contra, and it'll say starting up backup generators, and then it goes through this whole like 3-minute process of like starting up the nuclear reactors and
Oh my God.
and it goes like entering super mode, and yeah, it's pretty cool.
If off the top of my head, what is it? Up, down, left, right, A, B, A, or something.
A, B, select, start,
something like that.
Yeah.
Up,
I
down, left, A, B, start. Or BA start. Yeah.
Weren't you just playing that?
Contra? No.
Oh, never mind.
I have a HomePod
Everyone's
Mini
fucking
on my
tested.
desk, and during one of the streams a couple of months ago, somebody said, and I won't say it now because my HomePod Mini's listening, but someone said it on the live stream, and all of a sudden the HomePod said, "Ooh, awkward." I was like, what the?
That's awesome. All right, guys, let's carry on with the game.
All right.
It's up to you now, Stone Monkey. Do you remember the question? Because we
Gag
kind
reel.
of been all over it. Yeah, the gag reel. That's right.
Yeah.
Gag reel? Yeah. Oh, I've had lots of awkward responses to people being on the autism spectrum myself, so I'm sure those could count.
Probably, yeah.
there have been times where I've person introduced me to a group and someone tells me, "I don't know your name," and I'm like, "I don't know your name either." Super awkward. But it made sense to me.
Ever.
Ditto.
That's amazing.
It made sense to me though.
But it's true.
We're
It's
even.
honest.
I don't know yours either.
Who the fuck you be?
We just had a caller on the pickup line the other day who was talking about being on the autism spectrum, and his girlfriend was saying, "Hey, I'm going to go in the other room." But she wasn't being direct and saying, "I want you to join me in the other room." She was like, "So I'm going to go in the other room." And he goes, "Okay." She was upset because what she meant was like, "Come with me.
It's
This
like,
is an
"Okay, bye."
invitation." And he was like, "Okay, bye." Like, he's like, "You have to be direct." And it was amazing.
You don't have to be on the spectrum for that. Most men don't get that either.
Yeah, that's right. True. We're kind of dumb.
Honey, I'm going to bed. Okay, see you later.
All right, bye.
I'll be there in a couple hours.
I'm really thirsty. Oh, me too.
Yeah, I've gone to autism support groups, and there have been times where a person will describe a situation, everyone's listening along, okay, and then they say what it actually meant, was everyone was like, "Oh, okay."
That's what they
no
actually
one was
meant.
getting it.
Oh, I had a girl back when I was like a super ultra religious virgin who was 110% now. Like in retrospect, I'm like, she was 1,000% trying to seduce me. And I was just like, okay, cool. Just kind of like, totally oblivious, completely oblivious. And in retrospect, I'm like, oh, dude. Dude, you had so much to learn.
You need to be direct. Ladies, be direct.
Dude, I was at camp one, and we had a room that was full of mattresses. I had 2 girls in there, and they were dropping all kinds of hints. And I was like, mind you, I was like a preteen. I think I was 12 at the time, so I had no idea what the. And they're like, we could do this. I'm like, oh yeah. I was like, what? I had no idea. 2 of them in there. I was like, well, fuck. Later on in life, I'm like, you're an idiot.
It's hilarious how blatantly obvious stuff is in retrospect.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah. Mm-hmm. She was a model too.
It's like how proxies are in retrospect too, right?
Hindsight.
Yeah,
I had a girl who I had a huge crush on say to me, why didn't we hook up that night at that softball party? Like I talked with you all night. We hung out, we had dinner together, we like and I'm like, well,
you had no excuse.
I don't know. Because we didn't.
All right, Oz, your turn, my friend. What's what part of your life would be on a gag reel?
What? Yeah,
every day. No, I'm kidding.
When you host a show.
Yeah, every time I host the Atheist Roundtable is a complete fucking joke. The fact that people hit subscribe, I'm like, are you guys crazy? Are you crazy?
When you eat Texas barbecue.
Yeah, barbecue is the worst. But I really did buy the tickets.
Nice.
What? You're bringing that up now? We're doing roundtable. We're around the horn. What's wrong with you?
We're doing the roundabout.
The Atheist Roundtable.
Let's all get it wrong. We're doing round the corner. Come on, dude.
Around the corner? Is it now? Hold on. Are we going around the corner? Are we going around the horn? Are we going around the table? What are we doing?
We're going around it. We're going around the horn dog.
Round around.
Corn dog. Now I want a corn dog.
I do too. That's what happened the last time someone said horn dog. I suddenly thought about pogos. Now I want a pogo.
Pornos? Quiet Girl, you said pornos?
Pogo.
No, pogo.
You guys don't have pogos down there, do you? I think pogos are a Canadian thing.
Yeah.
I thought you said corn dog.
Yeah, no, it's
You did.
pogo
You
is a
did.
Canadian corn
Pogo
dog.
is a corn dog.
Huh.
Yeah. They call them pogo sticks up here.
Do you call sprinkles what JoJo's?
What?
Sprinkles.
No, sprinkles.
Oh, someone from like North Washington was like, we call sprinkles JoJo's.
Either they were pulling your leg or they were really stoned.
Or both.
I'm so sorry. Let's move on.
Or it was just like their family.
They thought the
No,
whole
you were just
world-
hella weird.
Corn.
For you Americans, we don't have Dippin' Dots up here, and everybody in the States knows what
I
Dippin' Dots.
know. Like, why don't we have Dippin' Dots?
Yeah,
I don't even know what the fuck those are.
It's like ice
See?
cream
I have
dots.
no idea.
So, like 20 years ago, they started calling Dippin' Dots the ice cream of the future.
No, it gave me diarrhea.
But I'm not sure that it ever really
Great,
caught
I
on.
want
And
some of
now it's the future, and I don't think it's really any bigger than it was 20 years ago.
No, it's not. The company man actually did a YouTube thing about it.
The company man?
Yeah.
Is that like a YouTuber?
It's a
or
YouTube
is
channel.
That...
Yeah.
Okay.
And he goes over the whole history of all these companies that have imploded and stuff.
Yeah, the Quiznos one was incredibly interesting.
I know.
Neil, give me 1 second. I'm gonna let our cat out so it's not like screaming the whole time. Get out of the studio.
You and I own a cat?
Your cat streams?
Wait, okay, fine. Then we'll come back to you, Oz.
Eat.
Oh.
Fine. All right, so I guess Oz didn't want to play. So go ahead, QG. You're up.
I was thinking initially that I was going to talk about the time I got home from swim team practice and took off my tearaway pants and wasn't wearing anything underneath. And then realized that my girlfriend at the time was having coffee with all her friends in the living room. So that was terrible.
Nice.
But then I thought that Thomas and I are clearly from like brothers from another mother, because by the time I was 2, I'd been hospitalized 3 times for eating things, including my grandmother's high blood pressure pills and my mom's cigarettes. And I ate everything and spat out all the filters. And the doctors in the emergency room were like, "There's no way he'd eat tobacco. It tastes terrible." And then they pumped my stomach, and 2 packs of cigarettes came up.
Oh my god! 2
Like
packs
the
of
first one,
cigarettes.
you didn't go, I don't know if this is a good idea. Like what?
I apparently was a kid that when I was exploring the world, everything went in my mouth. My worms in the sandbox. If it went in my mouth, like Yeah, as we say en français, Monsieur mange tout, right? Everything is going in my mouth. And even to this day, I'll eat anything 3 times before I decide if I like it.
It's hilarious that you bring up those two things, because literally, I think when I was like 12, I was jumping on the trampoline at my aunt and uncle's house, and I did a flip, and I landed, and my swim trunks just split all the way down the butt crack, to the point where like they weren't even really staying on, and I'm kind of like grabbing them awkwardly, trying to like hold it together, keep it together, man. And I go hobbling in, and I didn't realize that like the entire family reunion had arrived while I was jumping on the trampoline.
Your whole ass be out.
So I come hobbling in with this swim trunk split, going, "Hey everyone, don't look!"
Which means they're gonna look.
They're gonna look.
But yeah, thank you for reminding me of that long suppressed memory.
That's what I'm here for. Dredge up all those nightmares you've repressed.
All right, Swede, your turn.
So my parents are, fundamentalist level Ken Ham support lovers. So growing up in that household was always, church all the time. And apparently, they both were in choir, the church choir and everything. So when they went up to sing, I would have to come with, because you don't leave a, 4-year-old in the pews. And apparently I had decided that my butt itched and I needed to scratch it.
Wait, you decided?
And I, in my 4-year-old mind, decided that scratching over pants was not what needed to be done. And so off came the pants in front of everyone in church. And here I am, just scratching away, my ass. And my mom, yeah.
That is fucking awesome.
But I got the itch. Apparently that was I announced that it
next time I got one of these. It's like telescopic and everything.
Yes. Well, yeah. And so the entire church heard me say and confirmed that my butt no longer itched.
That's much better.
That's
I feel
incredible.
right now.
So Randolph, are you gonna bail so Nick can come in for a bit, or?
Yeah, sure. Do you want me to send him the link?
Yeah, do that.
I've got a few
I
things I need to do at the end of the evening, so I can jump out here now. But I'll see if you're still streaming in a bit. Yeah, but if you're all gone, then yeah, nice to see you all. Stay frosty.
Thanks, QG, for joining us, man. I'll do
pleasure.
a big thank you tweet and stuff. But we didn't get to hear from Oz though on the round
around the table, around the corner.
Around the horn.
that round thing.
What is the what part of your life that would be on a gag reel? Look at that. He's the master of the pause. He's like,
that's why they call me Oz. So what had happened was, it was like April of last year. My wife and I went to down to Indy, and down there they have these beautiful like luxury suites that you can rent that have like a hot tub, a swimming pool, a sauna, like all the shit in your room, right? Mm-hmm. And we rented it for 2 nights, something like that. And the first or second night we were there, there was. Because above the bed is nothing, like the whole ceiling is nothing but fucking mirrors, like around the bed,
Wow.
Yeah. It's these particular hotel rooms or whatever you want to call them, suites are it's Pound Town. That's what they're made for.
They're for some hanky panky.
Yeah. And either my wife or I took a picture and it had me laying down on the bed. We just got out of the pool, and you can see it in the mirror, the way the picture's taken. Like you could see a naked ass and body in the mirror. Well, somehow this picture got sent in our Skype group to Pasta Mike and a couple of the other guys that are part of the Atheist Roundtable. Well, they zoomed in and they're like, oh, that's Mrs. Oz. That's Mrs. Oz's ass. And then they zoomed in and they realized, oh shit, that's Oz's ass.
Oh
no. And Pastor Mike was like,
but seriously, no.
Pastor Mike was like, damn, dude, you built thick.
Damn, boy, he's thick.
I
When we're
can
done,
understand that shit too.
when we're done, can I tell a second one after the last person goes? Because
Sure.
I got one.
Well, I believe
Dragons
Nick's
go?
jumping in here with us in a few minutes. IQ hasn't gone yet, so.
Yeah.
Oh, have you?
Did
Did I do
Dragons,
you already?
Dragons and Genesis, did he go?
Well,
Jason?
Yeah, Jason, why don't you tell us yours? Do I
Let's
have
see.
to?
So, no, I'm trying to narrow it down because
I hear
growing
you.
up with seven brothers, there's like all kind of shit that should never have
It's a
happened.
48-hour movie.
Yeah, yeah. Let me think. Oh, okay. So, a friend of mine she used to work at a gas station, and one of the things that she had to do every night was refill all the coolers with ice to keep all the beer cold. So she would go out to the big ice machine outside, and she would bring in like 3 or 4 bags of ice, bust them up on the floor, open up the bags, and then pour the ice out. So I'd go out there and help her, grab a couple of bags and bring them in. I toss a bag on the floor, to break it up, dump it out in the cooler, and like 3/4 of the bag comes out as one giant ice chunk. It's huge. It's like the size of a watermelon. It was like a 10-pound bag of ice, and most of it didn't come apart. So instead of like shoving it back in the bag and like hitting it against the floor a couple times, like I picked it up and my brain just decided to do something without my consent. I picked it up and I just said, "Hey, Missa, watch this," and I headbutted it as hard as I could. And I have no idea. Like, I didn't plan this. It just like
impulse
fell out of my head, and then I attacked it, and like I don't know why, it just happened. And I headbutted this thing like fucking hard, okay? And it sounded like someone dropping a watermelon onto concrete.
No.
The ice didn't do anything. It was solid. Like this was part of what took out the Titanic, okay? It had no give to it. I dropped it, my knees buckled, I fell on the floor, like the whole world turned blue. And my friend looked at me and she just said, "You fucking idiot."
Like, why did you do that?
Yeah, and that's the thing. I have no idea why. It just, as soon as I picked it up, it's like it just happened. And to this day, I still
Seemed
don't
like
know
a
what
good
happened.
idea at the time, right?
Yeah, well, that was the problem. There wasn't a thought involved. If I had thought about it, I promise I wouldn't have done something that stupid. So yeah, I guess it was kind of like Tourette's, where like a random word just comes out of your mouth. Yeah, I do that sometimes.
Oh,
There'll be an
yeah.
action, and I don't know where it comes from. It just happens.
Oh my gosh. Oh, that's amazing.
All right. What about you, Stone Monkey? What's a gag reel moment from your life?
I already went. It's Nicholas's turn.
Oh, did you? Okay, I'm totally lost now because everyone has been moved around since people have been coming and going, so I forget where the fuck I was. I try to go in like order. So, all right, Nicholas, give us a gag reel moment from your life, sir. Oh, by the way,
no hablo inglés. Okay. Hola. So okay, well,
Bienvenidos.
Well, muchas gracias. So I was at an advantage because I knew this was coming, and I still couldn't come up with one. I came up with 2 quasi ones, and that's about all I can do. The first is at college, I used to spend weekends at my girlfriend's place. So I'd come back, stay at the dorm for the weekends, go to my girlfriend's place. One weekend, come back, and I swore there was a class that I was usually about 15 minutes late for. I said, I'm going to be on time for this class. And my teacher was getting on my case about it, and everyone was making fun of me, and it was well known. I was just never on time for this class. So okay, I'm going to be on time. My alarm goes off. Go, and I'm bleary-eyed. I am horrible in the mornings. It takes 4 hours before I'm up and running. I have one of those clocks. I am not a morning person. So, and I can't find, and I'm like loading up my pants with all my stuff. I was like, do I have what I need for? And then I go, and I get to the door, and I look. I am 5 minutes early. Open the door. Everybody's already sitting down. I was just like, what the fuck? Did everyone else decide to get there early? I was like, okay, that's fine. I get it. And now I'm really kind of off my game because I'm like, I'm missing something. I don't know what it is. And I sit down, and just as I sit down, I had loaded up my pockets with nothing but coins. And I sit down, boom, coins everywhere. There's like, they're just going all across the room, everywhere. And I'm trying to play that off like, I didn't hear nothing. Why is everyone, what?
Scrabble!
There's still like, by the time it's like you think they're all done, but there's still one that managed to go all the way into the corner. It's like the teacher just pauses for a second, then continues on your ding as it hits the corner. It's like, fuck. So I'm just sitting there going like, okay, I'm going to do nothing. I'm going to sit, I'm going to chill, pretend like nothing happened. And then a few minutes after that, everybody gets up, walks out. And I'm like, what the hell was that? And the teacher doesn't even talk to me, just leaves. And I'm just, what?
Thanks, Justin.
And a friend of mine comes up and said, okay, you've had a morning. I said, yeah. I said, why is everybody leaving? He said, class is over. I was 5 minutes early. You're aware that the time changed, right? I said, yes. No, I took that into account. I changed all the clocks. Where were you this weekend? I was with I didn't change the clocks in my dorm. So that one, and then another real brief one. One time, the kids were all like, Daddy, we can't find the remote. I was like, oh, look for it. I'm busy. I'm doing some stuff. Like, well, no, we really can't find it. We did look for it. I was like, you always say that. You didn't look for it. Daddy, we looked for it. I was like, okay, fine. $50 says I find it in 30 seconds. Go, nope, can't find it. Look some more, can't find it. Hey, I'm searching everywhere. We literally, I could go get you the remote right now. We took neon colored strips of cloth and taped them to the remote so that usually you can find like the cloth, you can find the tail, you can see it sticking out of the couch, and you know where it is. Okay, so we have worked our asses off to find these. Nowhere. An hour, still haven't found it. And I was just like, I have to, but I have no idea. Wife comes home, can't find it. Looking, can't find it. Finally, I was like, I'm gonna go make dinner. And then I was like, okay, my daughter's like, oh, can we help us? I said, sure, could you get the milk out of the fridge? Daughter says, found it. I left it in the refrigerator.
Yeah.
Who just called it? Someone in the chat was like, left in the fridge.
Somebody just the fridge stored up. He may have heard the story before. That one's gotten around.
Was it like an absent-minded moment or like a sleepwalking thing?
No, it was an absent. No. What happened was I was going to get something to drink. I had it in my hand. I opened the fridge, put it down, grabbed what I wanted to get, left, and then I just didn't see it when I'm putting the thing back in. None of it processed.
So I tell people to look in the fridge, and they think I'm fucking joking. I'm like, no, look in the fridge. You might have set it fucking down while you're thirsty.
Thank you.
Both my dad and my mom are not my mom. Both my dad and my sister are sleepwalkers.
Don't tell my kids. My kids do that all the time now. They're like, whenever anything's missing in the house, they're like, check the fridge, Daddy. I was like, you are so lucky that there are.
It's a very likely place to find something weird.
I always know where everything is. You leave things in weird places. Neil and company, this has been a blast. Thank you for having me.
My pleasure.
I'm exhausted. I'm a lightweight.
Oh, I got a funny story though.
Who had the funny story?
I've got one.
I will stay for this.
And I never got to tell mine, and it's quite similar to
Okay, I will stay for this. This will be the last.
I get to tell
roundy
mine
merry-go-round.
And I'm sorry, real quick, guys. I have to go. I love all of you. I love all of you.
Okay, Oz.
Good to see you again, Oz.
Take care, Oz. Say hi to the Tart Boys for
Oz.
us.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Tell him, give Mikey a big. Oh, never mind. I was going to say give a big kiss for me, but that's okay.
Hannah and Thomas, great to see you. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you so much. I'm gonna stay for these last 2 stories, so don't worry.
Then, yeah, because you guys, it's after 11 there for you guys. So
it is, yeah, but it is Saturday. But I'm a sleepy.
You're on a morning schedule.
Yeah, it's true. No, I don't want to miss these. Okay, so who's sweeter? Neil going?
Neil goes.
Neil.
I'm gonna go. Yeah, because I think you've already had your say. You get to do an extra one, but yeah. So in the line of what Thomas was saying, I was at summer camp, and we were sticking things in our nose and shooting them at each other. We thought it'd be fun, and I thought it'd be fun to put 3 peas up my nose and do like rapid fire, like a machine gun. So I'm at the hospital. So I'm at the hospital getting the fucking peas sucked out of my nose afterwards, because one rolled out, the other 2 got stuck. Right? I thought it'd be great. Yeah. So that's one of them, and then getting to what was it? Swimming lessons when I was a kid, and the teacher was trying to get me, and I was deathly afraid of water at the time. I mean, because it wasn't like my bathtub, so I didn't know. So she's trying to put me in the water, and of course I bit her. I bit the teacher.
Oh no!
And at that point, she just basically fucking took her gigantic foot and just booted me into the water. Learn to swim, bitch! Kind of thing as I find it.
And how old were you at this point? 16?
Yeah, no, 24. I'm kidding. Yeah, no, I was about 5, I think, at the time when that happened.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Full savage.
Yeah, I bit her, and she fucking booted my ass into the pool after that. But then the funny thing is after that, once I was in the pool, you couldn't get me out of it. I was like, "This is fucking awesome!" And I was like a human fish, like that guy from Sound of Water or whatever the fuck that movie's called.
Shape of Water.
Shape of Water. Oh, I loved that movie. A lot of people didn't, but I liked it a lot.
I liked it a lot too. It was very good.
I haven't seen it yet. I was watching Rocky Horror Picture Show that night.
For real though,
way to loop
it back around, Dave.
That's a that's what we call a meta comment right there.
Yeah.
All right,
like,
sweet.
Wait, really? That's great.
So
right.
Above my head is the proof that prior to my heart exploding, I used to be a pretty active runner. And one of those medals up there is the Hadrian Wall 90-mile challenge, where over the course of 3 days, you run along Hadrian's Wall all the way across.
What?
It is brutal, but I've also done marathons, half marathons, and everything else. So, and there's a couple rules that you have to follow when you do distance or ultra marathons and anything like this. Mostly like hydrate. You got to have at least some food in your stomach, this, that, and the other thing. But one of the major rules is if you know you're going to be out there for over an hour and a half or something like that, you don't take anything that could be considered a stimulant, because you'll run into problems roughly an hour to an hour and a half after. I adhered to that rule until we went past a station and I grabbed what I thought were just chocolate things, because chocolate is pretty innocuous and it's sugar. And, when you're running like that, you have to intake roughly 300 calories every hour when you're going along your route.
No, I want chocolate.
No, they were coffee bean covered or chocolate covered coffee beans.
Those things are awesome.
No.
Those things are awesome unless you're running.
Oh,
Dude, I ran to the water. I ran to the bathroom and I'm out of breath.
To you? So there's another rule: never trust a fart after the 10th mile. It was well after the 10th mile. It was stimulants in my body. And here I roll into the finish line at the 90th mile, not completely soiled, but very much so.
Oh my gosh! But you still finished.
Every runner has done this. That's done ultra marathon and ultra. You've run into this problem. So it's not like I'm. We all love telling these stories around the campfire. But yeah, that's mine. Is the 90th mile on the 3rd day, rolling in, running down my leg. Oof.
That is wild.
Yep.
That's actually not as uncommon, though. You're right. It's with runners. I've heard that.
That just blows my mind. We're just runners be going around being like, yeah, we just shit ourselves. And like, it's fine. I kind of admire that.
It's like, hey man, toilets,
I do
ain't
that every
nobody
day.
got time for that.
That's why I wear Depends.
So So yeah, it's one of those things where you're like, your body is so like in like survival mode that you put anything odd into your system that would be considered a stimulant or anything like that. It's like evacuate.
That's really interesting, and I like really kind of admire the fact that like runners can just be like, yeah, everyone's done it. We all shit ourselves.
That's what it's done around here.
Yeah.
Shit happens.
Shit happens, man.
Now?
We're just human. We shit.
That's right. We poop.
Yeah.
Everybody poops. That was one of my favorite books as a child.
I was going to bring that up. Everybody poops.
Goes along with one time I got rejected in college going on a date with a girl, and one of my friends walked up to me and goes, "Don't worry, she ain't unlike anybody else. She's had explosive diarrhea too."
Well, before you disappear, I want to say thank you so much for being a guest tonight, Hanna.
It's been a pleasure. This has been, especially with COVID, I haven't been able to like hang out with like a bunch of people at once. And this felt like, just like chilling with your friends at a bar and like laughing. Like this was awesome.
I'm glad that's how you felt about it, because that's kind of what I aim for. It's just to have a bunch of friends on, shoot the shit. Thomas has been in quite a few of these, so he
was
knows
a
what
blast. This was
exactly what Neil's after parties are like.
This was an absolute blast. Thank you for having me.
Ourselves.
Don't tell her. Tell her this
You'd be
was the
surprised.
best after party. Don't tell her it was average.
I still remember Thomas coming on for the deconversion story and putting on the pumpkin costume.
Oh yes,
that was awesome.
That's a glorious moment. That'll go on the highlight reel of this show at some point. Anyway, Thomas and Hanna, why don't you like people don't know where to find fucking Thomas, but why don't you do a little shilling and point out your stuff and where people can find you guys?
This is Holy Kool-Aid. You Google it, you'll find him. He doesn't need that shit.
Pretty simple.
If you go to YouTube and you look up YFN Atheist, you'll find Ethan's channel, and I have a segment on there where I'm the co-host, and we have the Pickup Line, which is a show where we talk about sex, love, relationships, dating, and it's not an exclusively atheist show. It's kind of just for shits and giggles, and we get a little serious sometimes, but yeah, it's a lot of fun.
It's a good show. They have good chemistry.
Yeah, we have great chemistry. And it's 9 p.m. Central Standard Time every Thursday.
And you also have Twitter and TikTok.
I have Twitter and I have all the social medias. If you Hanna Vaughn Fancy, but Vaughn is VON Fancy.
I have all the links in the original interview that I did with Hanna, so there's a link to that below. So if you want to go over there and get all the links, they are there for you.
Yeah, this is a blast.
All right. Well, thank you so much. And Thomas, thanks for jumping in the after party.
Yeah.
I think she kind of was like, I think she was probably like, yeah, you're coming in here, motherfucker.
Yeah, you fucking butter. All right. Hasta la pasta.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. All right. I'm just going to keep going with the shilling because I think we're going to call this quits anyways. We've almost been on here for 3 hours, guys. 3 hours.
That's
well, not
it?
so much Nick. He's kind of new to this, but
I've done one. This is my second, and it's I came in very late.
You did.
So
you did. I should kick you out of here just for that. But no, I'm kidding.
Wait, no, whoa. I read the fine print. You stamped the card. I get credit for the full 3 hours, and I want my 10th hour free or else. No.
All right, I'll put you on the list. Fine.
All right. Good. We're good. We're good now. Sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. Sorry.
You will absolutely be a part of my thank you tweet, so don't worry about it. And you were talking the other day when I popped into your show in the chat there that you wanted to have me back on.
I do. I absolutely do. I got up. It's been. Oh my God! It's probably been about a year since you were on.
Yeah, probably.
So.
Ansgar was still doing it with you.
Yep, Ansgar. Yep, that was Ansgar, and it was a spectacular show. So
it was a great show.
Yeah. Oh dear Lord. So we still get, and in fact, Oz is going to be on next week. Randolph is coming back next week, and then Carrier is going to be on the week after that. So we're booked for the next couple of weeks. Yeah, I like him a lot. I have to say, I like the topics, but his topics are either always about the historicity of Jesus or something related to Hitler. And I'm like, I don't want to get a reputation. I like good topics, but
Jesus Hitler.
I just like Hitler's table talk. I was just like, okay, a lot of people do want to know what that is, but is that always gonna? Is that just gonna be the? I was like, there's only so many times Hitler can be the topic of conversation on our show, but he's pushing it. But it's and we had him and Ozzy on, which was another really good show. Osmandius Ramses the second was on with him. I think it was their first time streaming together, and it was on philosophy of religion, which was really nice.
I got to get Ozzy on my show. I haven't even thought about that yet.
Yes, you do, especially since he's a former JW, if I recall.
You should put in a good word for me, and
I will absolutely. That's yeah.
I've spoken with him once. He's quite a pleasant fellow, and
that's what I hear.
He's Canadian too, I believe.
Yep, he is. He's been on our show probably about a dozen times. He had a what?
I've seen him a couple times on your show.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's been a lot. He had a series. He did the philosophy series with us, so he did all our intro to philosophy series, and we've had him on for a bunch of stuff. But it's been a while. He went backpacking, and he's like every now and then he's like, "Oh, I know I was going to come on next week, but I'm going to be backpacking and no phone, no technology for 3 weeks. See you later." I was like, "Oh, okay." So it's fine, and it's like why don't you get a hold of him and find out when he's available? Because he's in the Himalayas or some shit like that. I don't know.
He's walking on the surface of the moon. Like
yeah. But he is. I you know what? He's just a great guy, and he's on a couple of different Discords too. And when he goes into the Discord channel, he'll say something. The other thing I really like about him is he isn't afraid to really speak his mind. He says this too. He's like, look, there are people who get in trouble when they really speak their mind. He's like, I don't worry about it. I got a small channel. So he went on a Discord and started talking about gender, and it turns out that's a touchy subject. And he drew a lot of heat for it, but it was I was just like, wow. And he asked questions. I was like, okay, you know what? These are decent questions to ask. So it was I enjoy the guy. So I will absolutely put in a good word. Although I think he's heard of you, so I think
okay.
I think you could get him, but we'll figure it out.
All right, excellent. All right, Dave. Since we're going to do the roundup here, we're going to call this one quits. So I hang on. Let me see if I can find it. Fuck, Mikey, mix everything up. God damn it.
Are you looking for the big screen thing? Don't worry about it.
This one.
Oh, there we go.
This one here. Dave, yeah, go ahead and chill out to folks, because you started a channel and I really dug the idea, but you haven't done fucking shit with it, and I'm pissed off. So go ahead.
Well, now that I've torn my entire studio apart to move it to the other apartment, and half of it's over there and half of it's here, we'll be kicking that back off shortly, probably by the end of the month, and that's called Atheist Primetime. We'll be digging back into that. But in the meantime, Neil is such a great host and allows me to be a part of this wonderful show on Tuesday, Thursdays, and Saturdays at 5 p.m. Pacific. Woo-hoo! And our friend Andy Hall in Laughing in Disbelief has been allowing me to jump in with him in the mornings. So if you're up at 9 a.m. Yeah, 9 a.m. Eastern, crazy o'clock Pacific. He has a great little comedy show in the morning, and he does a little after show afterwards, as well as our friend B and Purple Rhymes with Orange and many others who've been gracious enough to allow me to contribute to their streams in the meantime. It's been wonderful being a part of this.
I paid them all, by the way. So
thank you, Neil. I owe you.
Awesome. All right, IQ. What about you? Well, everyone knows you're the moderator from hell, but I mean, other than that,
you know my deal. Don't come looking for me. I'll find you.
I'll find you.
I am wherever I am, and that's usually more than one place at the same time. So it's just how it is. I'm just kind of everywhere.
For a second, I thought you were doing a Popeye quote. I am what I am.
Yeah. I'm just out there doing my thing.
Oh, you're out there. All right.
You'll see me around.
All right, Jason, Mr. Dragons and Genesis, let people know where they can find you. Yes, that's you.
Facebook.com/DragonsOfGenesis, DragonsOfGenesis.com, YouTube.com/DragonsOfGenesis podcast. Actually, go to my YouTube channel and subscribe because I'm almost at 1,000 subscribers. So I'm closing in.
Right on.
I think I got like 200 subscribers in the last 2 weeks, but because
Wow.
I did an interview with Richard Carrier.
Nice.
Like you get Carrier on your show, and all of a sudden everyone shows up. So that was a huge help. So yeah, do that. I have some new videos I'm going to be working on in the next few weeks, and I have a bunch of new content that's going to be coming out on the podcast, going into First and Second Kings. So we get the story of Solomon and all the crazy kings that followed after him, and the story of Jezebel and stuff like that. And the prophet Elisha and the 42 kids who insulted him for being bald, and the two she-bears that came along and killed him. That's a good moral story there. I mean, if you insult someone for being bald, you deserve to get eaten by a bear. That's just my opinion. So I'm going to be covering all that stuff pretty soon. So go check out the YouTube channel and the podcast. And for the podcast, get any podcast app on your phone, search Dragons and Genesis, and look for the big orange logo with Godzilla attacking Jerusalem. So easy to find.
Which is the best thing ever.
Yes. So,
all right. Are you? I'm sorry. Are you all done, or? I think that you mentioned everything as far as I know.
Yeah. No, all done.
Okay. All right. Good.
Yeah.
All right. Stone Monkey Lab Rat. Where can folks find you?
Tuesday on Neil 604 Atheist. I'm apparently getting interviewed there.
You are.
So.
Oh God, that clown! I had to do that show once, and then is my mic on?
Tell me about it. Who did we lose?
Hot mic. Sorry.
Besides that, I'm trying to start a YouTube channel, so maybe it will happen.
We'll give you a reason to do it.
Oh.
All right. Yeah, that's Stone Monkey will be my guest on Tuesday, so tune in for that one. Should be an interesting story and a lot of fun for the after party as well. And by the way, folks, another idea we had for the merch store is I survived a 604 Atheist after party, so we'll be able to have shirts like that too. Next up, my partner in crime for the upcoming show.
Everything just froze up on me here.
No, not everything.
Yeah, of course. I hit the fucking thing right when I was in the middle of an important thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, I accidentally bumped the cable because I hardwire for going live, but
okay. So it wasn't me. All right.
No, it wasn't you. It was me. So next up is my friend Randolf Richardson. Go and tell people where they can find you.
All right. So you and I will be hosting an upcoming program called True North Talk at truenorthtalk.ca.
What's it called?
True North Talk. Did I say it too fast? All right. I appreciate the clarity. And we hope to have the studio built in a few months so that we can get started on this. People can also find me at Canadian Atheists at www.canadianatheists.ca. One of our goals is to see atheism normalized in society, particularly Canadian society, but hopefully throughout the whole world too would be nice. And you can find out more about this campaign at www.normalizeatheism.ca. Thank you very much. And thank you to everyone in the audience.
Awesome. Yeah, that's what I was just going to say. Thanks to all you wonderful folks in the audience who decided to stick around and watch us have a good time. Also, thanks, as I always say, to my amazing patrons. You guys are why the show keeps going, and you guys keep me spirited to keep going. And anyways, like Randolph was saying, very soon we have the call-in show called True North Talk. So you can visit that website that he mentioned again. And yeah, he mentioned everything. So I could just move on to the next thing. So come and watch me and some of the other fantastic hosts of the revamped and relaunched Nonprofits, which airs 3 p.m. Sunday between Talk Heathen and the Atheist Experience. You can see my ugly mug in there, and also like my producer Mikey's ugly mug in there. You can see lots of people are going to be on that show. We got more guests, hosts that come in, like X from the Utah Outcasts and stuff like that. It's a lot of fun to do. And we have a great time. Also, last Saturday of every month, almost every month. Last Saturday we didn't do because of my whole mom being in the hospital issue. But anyways, Andy and Seamus, Andy, which Dave was mentioning before, does Laughing in Disbelief, and Seamus does the Free Thought Prophets. And we get together with plus a guest, and you never know when we might come knocking on your door to be a part of it. So we also do a show called Atheist Drinking Out Loud, where we spend a couple hours poking fun at some news items or some people in general. And it's a lot of fun. So I hope you guys enjoyed tonight's show. If you missed it, there's a link to the original interview below, and you can go check it out. I had Hanna Vaughn, who's amazing, and she's on the YFNA channel, which you can go over there and check it out as well. And she's Holy Kool-Aid's girlfriend. I wish I was Holy Kool-Aid's girlfriend, for crying out loud. But anyway, until next time, guys, like I always say at the end of these shows, like the late, great Carl Sagan once said, extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. And we will see you guys next time.
The 604 is right, I tell you what.
Hey, shut up!
Still live.